Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley, Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, as we get ready for 2-5 action. As a matter of fact, they just played the first hand there. So, got a rundown of everybody in tonight. You can see the player stack sizes there on the bottom of the screen. We got Colin in. He's bought in for 1,000. And we have Louis, who just won that last hand, bought in for 750. Big Fish in for 500. Sweeney also in for 500. We got Illuminati. He's in for 500. Finn's Fan in for 1,000. Nuno in for 500. Neto in for 500. And New York Bob in for 1,000. This is the second hand. Thank you for joining us tonight on this Friday night. We have 2-5 Texas Hold'em from the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Looks like we got a straddle under the gun. So it'll be $10 to go for Luis, who won last hand. Sweeney with the 7 deuce. It's suited. And Sweeney's coming in. This is Sweeney's first time playing the stream. And Sweeney loves to see flops. Colin also with some suited spades. And he's going to come along. Nuno with the 5-6 offsuit. And looks like he's going to play his button, and does. Neto folding the 9 deuce. New York Bob completes. And now the action is on Big Fish, and Big Fish will check his option. So we are going 6 ways to a flop here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Action will be on the big blind, New York Bob. And it's going to be ace, queen 6. Illuminati with the ace. Sweeney with the 7 deuce. I don't think they're playing the 7 deuce game, but Sweeney's going to take a stab at this pot, and he's going to get immediately called. Real small bet size, only $20 into the pot. Nuno flopping a bottom pair. He's coming along. And so is New York Bob with some backdoor draws, getting a real good price. So let's see, a club or a spade on the turn. Black turn? No. So now Sweeney, who bet earlier, picking up a pair, sizing up, looks like $50 there. And it is. So almost a $200 pot. Oh, he's going to get the ace to fold here. So now Sweeney has the best hand. It looks like Sweeney's going to take it down with 7 deuce. Let's see if he shows. It doesn't look like he's showing. I don't think they're playing the 7 deuce game, but I did hear some talk about the small blind game. So once again, you can see the players' stack sizes there. So Colin already up 190. I guess we missed the first hand, but according to the math there, Colin was the winner of that hand. Sweeney just taking the 7 deuce. He's already up over $100. And pretty much everybody either breaking even or down a little. So the players are actually talking about doing the small blind game, and this is something they did last Friday. I believe it was the first time doing it on the stream. So I've seen it played before, and if they do start it, we'll kind of give the breakdown if you've never seen it before. King 5 offsuit for Sweeney. He won last hand. Decides to fold here. Illuminati with the fold. Finn's Fan as well. And is this going to be the battle of the blinds? They just might chop it here. I think they're going to chop it. That's what they're talking. Yeah. So you really don't see that a lot on stream, but folded around to the big blind and small blind, and they actually chopped it. So if you're not sure what chopping the blinds are, if it's folded around to the small blind and big blind, they can choose essentially just to take their money back and go on to the next hand. It started off back in the day in California, and it's still really big in the California card rooms, and that's because they don't do a rake, or it's not called a rake in California, it's called a drop. So essentially, if they put out a flop, they drop $10. No, $5, excuse me. They drop $5 out of the pot. So it started back in California where they would just chop the blinds, and now it's kind of a spread. Most people chop. Some people don't like chopping. Of course, if you're playing a tournament, you can't chop. So Illuminati coming in for the limp. Neto with the ace-king only calling the raise from Nuno. So Luis calling, and that's going to bring in Illuminati. So we go 4 ways to the flop. The ace-king, the best hand right now, but nobody has a pair yet. Queen 9-9. Still nobody has a pair. Open-ended for Nuno. He's probably going to continuation bet here. $82, bet him 50. And that's probably going to get the job done. So he was your pre-flop aggressor, making it 20 pre-flop. Picking up 3 callers. And we'll flop open-ended. And that'll take it down. Once again, we are playing 2-5 no limit hold'em here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We're located in South Texas, 3 hours directly south of San Antonio. We are in the city of Edinburg, one of the many towns and cities that make up the area known as the Rio Grande Valley. A couple of other bigger cities here in the area. You got McAllen, Farr, Mission, and then you go out a little bit east, and you have Brownsville, Harlingen, and South Padre Island. So down here in South Texas, as we have Illuminati first act. He will fold. Finn's fan coming in for a raise with the 4-5. Pretty sure he's a Baccarat player, because that's a real good hand in Baccarat, the natural 9. And Nuno's going to 3-bet him here. So he just won last hand. And he's putting those chips to work immediately. Big Fish has the button. Thought about defending it, but he does make the fold. Suited queen of Luis in the muck. And Finn's fan will call, and he's in bad shape right now. Does not want a 5 to come out. And it's going to be ace, king, 6. It should end the hand. It is 2 clubs. But Nuno will probably c-bet here. And he does $50. An immediate fold from Finn's fan. I know Nuno's been on the stream before, and last time he was on the stream, I think he won a couple of thousand. He does show the ace. Kind of letting people know early on that he's got a tight image, trying to build that tight image at least. We are on a 15-minute delay, so what you're seeing is essentially live as a 15-minute delay. As a matter of fact, I know live TV isn't even live. I want to say it's a 7-second delay on live TV. And it looks like they did start the small blind game. So there is some chips on the button there, and that's part of the small blind game. So we will break that down if you don't know about it. That is not a straddle. They did start the small blind game as Finn's fan coming in for a raise to 15. Raised last hand with 4-5. And this hand, that might be a $20 raise. Let's see what the graphics say. Looks like those two middle chips were stuck. So raised it with 4-5 offsuit the previous hand, raises it with Jack 6 of hearts this hand. Finn's fan building up that V-pip. And he's going to get a min raise from the big fish here. Big fish making it 20. The old click back. Be funny if Finn's fan makes it 60. No, he just calls the 20. So heads up to the flop. We will go. Illuminati folding the 9-7. Hearts versus diamonds. And big fish flopping a gut shot. Finn's fan turning hearts. And he's going to bet. He bets 50. River of 4. Let's see if Finn's fan bluffs it. That's the only chance he has. 187 in the pot. I think Finn's fan is going to have to bluff it here. No, he checks. He waves the white flag. Big fish is thinking about bluffing at it, but he doesn't have to. He bets 75, a small bet here. Not sure what he's trying to get a call from. 75 into 178. So Finn's fan doesn't have a hand to call, and he will put it in the muck. All right, chat is live here on YouTube. I do have access to it. So YouTube chat. Here we go. Got Eric. Shout out to the RGV crew from Dallas. Appreciate it, Eric.
You would wake up with like pocket fives or something like that. Well, you only show one. I can get it out of yeah,
sure. Eric plays in the Dallas area. There are two locations of the Texas Card House in the Dallas area. One in the city of Dallas off of 635. And then the other in the city of Irvin. So it looks like New York Bob raising it up with the suited ace. And Big Fish immediately calling him with the better ace. He's also suited.
Small blind game? Yeah.
So they are confirming the small blind game, and we will break down the details after this hand, if you do not know them. Illuminati coming along with the King 9 of hearts. Does not want to see hearts on the flop. So Finn's fan with the 7s. Put out the straddle, and now he sees some dead money out there. And he's going to be going after it here. I think he needs to size up. I don't think that size is going to get it done. As there is makes it 135, so less than 100 for both New York Bob and Big Fish to call, and I think they will call with their suited aces. Yeah. So right idea from Finn's fan, raising it up. Just chose the sizing was a little on the small side, and that's even going to bring along Illuminati here with the King 9. So the 7s having to avoid the ace, king, and 9. I was going to say, let's see the 7 of hearts, but the 7 of hearts is in Finn's fan's hand. So 7 of diamonds. Let's go 7 of diamonds. Set versus flush draw. Come on, let's see some blood here early. Oh, and it is 2 diamonds, and it is a 9. So Finn's fan getting out flopped here, but he's going to continue on. Big fish with not much left in his stack. He has 450, and this pot is already almost $900. He just might ship it in here. Let's see if he's going to ship it in. There you go. He does announce all in. New York Bob with bottom pair. Illuminati with middle pair. And Finn's fan with 7s. So I could see New York Bob calling here. I don't think Finn's fan can call with New York Bob behind him. But New York Bob's going to be getting a real good price. As you can see, the pot's already over $1,000. 1317 to be exact. So I think New York Bob's going to call. I think Finn's fan has to fold here. His 3-bet size and pre-flop just brought too many people in. And of course, if he would have hit a 7 and all this action would have happened, then the play would have been brilliant. But I believe it's 1 in 8 times you're going to flop a set with a pocket pair. This not being one of those 8 times. Finn's fan might call if he's heads up, but like I said, he has New York Bob behind him, so he's just going to have to give it up. New York Bob might gamble here. It is early on in the stream. Yep, and New York Bob did call. So I believe they're going to run it twice. Yeah, so they are going twice here. Big Fish's ace is not live. Oh, trips for New York Bob. Oh, and he hits the diamond. So first one going to Big Fish. A 5 would be gross. Oh, and he hits the diamond again. So Big Fish going to be scooping this $1,500 pot. So they run it twice. He hits the flush draw twice. So Big Fish was in for $500. Now he just tripled that starting stack. All right, so small blind game. Let's break it down if you have not played before. Every time somebody is on the button, they have to put $5. Well, it could be any amount that the table agrees to, but they started off at $5. So they put on $5. It's not a straddle. And the only player that can win the bonus that's on the button is in the small blind, which is why it's called the small blind game. If the small blind does not win the hand, and it looks like it's up to $30 now. So if the small blind does not win the hand, then it carries over to the next hand. And that's why it builds up real fast, because the small blind is essentially in the worst position. So right now it's 30. Not a straddle. Small blind game. That's Colin in seat 8. So he's the only one that can win it this hand. If he doesn't win it, then next hand he'll be on the button, and he has to add $5 to it. All right, action on Nuno. He's going to min-raise it. Four or 5 of New York Bob. Just lost the last hand, wants to make those chips back up in a hurry. Big Fish, did he min-raise it? Yeah, Big Fish min-raising it with the 9-6. We saw him do this earlier with the King 10 of diamonds. So Illuminati even calling the $20. Colin does fold, so next hand, Finn's fan will be eligible for that bonus, and it'll be $5 extra that'll be put on there for next hand. But right now, we have a pretty big pot brewing, as we have. Is this 7 ways? 6 ways. So New York Bob with a 4-5. He's obviously gonna call, but he might put in a big raise here, thinking that Big Fish is messing around, and he's actually right.
Manny asked him, "What do you got?"
So I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to call. So
And Manny goes, "I don't have shit." He's like, "Okay, you're on a draw, right?"
interesting play here. I do think he's gonna have to size it up because there's already over $100 in the pot. So he's gonna have to make it probably 120 at at least 120.
Like he won.
Oh wow, he's going all in. He's going all in with 5 high, and I guarantee you he's gonna show. At least I would. So great move here by Bob, as Big Fish put in the min raise, and New York Bob thought that he was messing around, and yes, indeed, he was messing around. And that was really the only person I think he had to worry about once he gets by the initial 3-better. Then everybody else is going to be making the fold. So nice play there by New York Bob as he picks up over $100. Wait, it's still not over yet. Yeah, okay, now it's over. I didn't think that Nuno was calling. And they're trying to pay him to show his hand, but I don't think he's gonna fold. As a matter of fact, he's clutching him. There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. So 4, 5 of spades. New York Bob showing it. A good move by him there. Like I said, he picked up over $100 with that move. So now you see $5 added onto the button as part of the small blind game, and Finn's fan is the only one eligible for this hand. So action will be under the gun. Seat 2, Neto. Don Neto. Ace King. I think he's just going to call the $5. I've seen him play Ace King very, very passively in the past. And he's... Did he make it 10?
No. Did he turn back on? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's blowing like a run.
Yeah, looks like he made it 10. I think maybe a chip got stuck. It looked like he was thinking about raising, then he just kind of grabbed the pile. Oh, Sweeney. Sweeney here to play with the 4 deuce. But he's going to run into some bad news as Neto is going to be 3-betting, I believe. Actually, it'll be a 4-bet, right? Oh, Nuno with the ace queen. This isn't going to end well for Nuno. Or as of right now, this is not going to end well for him. They might chop. I mean, there's a lot of chop possibilities out there if the board pairs. But I don't see Nuno folding here, as the action is on Finn's fan, and he will give it up. And Nuno is going to be a little surprised when he sees the ace-king. But yes, indeed, he makes the call. So he's in bad shape here. Neto winning the hand. Oh, and he flops a king? Yep. Oh, wow. Wow. Hitting the 2 outer on the turn is Nuno. So he did get a little unlucky in the fact that he ran into ace-king. But the ace-king getting drawn out on the turn. So almost $1,000 pot there. Ace-king versus ace-queen. They're just making sure the count, getting the count, making sure that they have them covered. All right, got kicker problems in the chat. Wishing everybody a happy Friday. See the player stack sizes right there. Big Fish so far the big winner.
Yeah, but they didn't have internet back when you graduated. No, when you have little. I graduated. This was 2005, and it's three of us. Our mentor, which is one of the professors.
Did I see that last hand wrong? I thought it was Ace Queen versus
He forgot. He didn't make it.
Ace King.
So
That
there
the Ace King hit a flush that I didn't see because they did chip the pot to Neto.
So he's like, we'll
I
see
thought I
you
saw a queen on the turn, but maybe
And I'm like, oh, thank you.
maybe I was watching the graphic and not the card that was on the table. But it's actually the Ace King of Neto that won that.
Like, we're not gonna take the elevator. We're gonna take the stairs, the long route. Well, guess who we find on the staircase? Our mentor,
So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I saw the hand wrong or I saw the graphics wrong, but I thought that seat one had the Ace Queen and hit trips on the turn.
We didn't make it. We don't want to come back.
Kings for Big Fish. He's gonna make it 15. Sweeney calling in with the Queen Jack of clubs. No, Sweeney raising? Yeah, Sweeney with the min raise. So we're 10 hands in, and I think we've seen the min raise used at least 3 or 4 times. So Nuno's just gonna ship his 111 that he has left in the middle, and this should get Big Fish to 4-bet here. Actually 5-bet because the 111 was the 4-bet. He might get sneaky and just flat. New York Bob calling with the ace. Okay, in my opinion, there's no way he can flat here. But his name is Big Fish. There we go. Put it out the greens. There we go. Put the greens to work. So this should clear everybody out and get him heads up with the 7-4 offsuit. Sweeney might feel like gambling. He does have a Queen Jack of clubs. It is a pretty hand, but I don't think he could call 4-bet with it. So that'll put the action on seat 6, Sweeney. So basically, dream scenario here for the Kings is he not only gets 3-bet, he gets 4-bet. Oh, Sweeney did think about it. Sweeney is pained here. Pained. Like I said, Queen Jack, it's a very, very nice hand, but is Vince Van saying YOLO? So Vince Van saying YOLO, and now New York Bob, who's in the middle of dinner. I don't think he's gonna call. I think he's gonna enjoy his dinner. I mean, maybe if Vince Van folded and he wanted to gamble, you can, but you have to beat 2 hands now, and your ace can easily be dominated. I believe New York Bob called. No, he's still thinking about it. He's still thinking about it. Like I said, if he's thinking about gambling and there's a side pot here, I think he can do it heads up, but once Vince Fan comes in, I think you have to get rid of it. Okay, so he does make the fold. So Kings up against 7-4 and 9-8. I'm kind of pulling for the 7-4. You gotta like the blackjack hand. Double down, double up. So if the 7-4 is somehow able to win here, it'll be a quadruple up. Since Bob, New York Bob called his all in, so that's the double up. Big Fish going all in, that'll be a triple up. And Finn's Fan going all in. So if the 7-4 is somehow able to win this hand, it'll be a quadruple up.
One time, boys. Max Payne.
So 3 ways to a flop.
We wanted to ask the question.
There is a side pot. Side pot is
One size.
about 1,000.
Whatever you guys. One size. Running once. Good luck, guys.
You can only get lucky once. Oh, New York Bob would have hit his ace. 5 for a straight? 7? 5 or 7? Yeah, New York Bob would have won. And like I said, I think he calls if Vince fan does not call. And or if he's not having dinner. So the two biggest pots, 10 hands in, both of them going to Big Fish. That's going to put him up to over 2,000. Bought him for 500, and 10 hands in has over 2,000 in his stack. So still stacking those chips. A lot going on tonight here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. We have the 2-5 stream table. We also have a couple of 1-3 cash game tables going on. And we got the $20 tournament. I think we have like 3 tables of the $20 tournament. Real fun tournament, especially on a Friday night. It's a $20 entry. You get a 20K starting stack, 20-minute levels, and it is a 2,000 a guaranteed prize pool. Every Friday night here at the Texas Card House at 6 p.m. And we run it back on Sundays. Sundays we do start at 2. We have a deep stack tournament on Saturday, which we'll tell you about in a bit. It starts at 2. And then this same $20 tournament we're doing tonight, we do it again on Sunday, and it starts at 2. I think we have a double straddle on. Yeah, we have a double straddle on. This is a 2-5 game, Big Fish. Put in the under the gun straddle on to 10, and then Luis making it 20. Then on top of that, we have the money on the button, which is up to, I believe, $40. Action will be on Sweeney. Illuminati limping with the King Queen offsuit. And Colin, winner of the first hand, is going to be 3-betting up to 100. He sees the double straddle, so considers that pretty much dead money. And he's coming after it. Action is on the initial straddler. Big Fish, he'll get rid of it. Luis, put on the double straddle, has the same hand as Illuminati. True story, both Luis and Illuminati are high school classmates. So Luis looks like he's going to call, and that should bring along his classmate. So both of them with the same hand, Queen, which gives a lot of equity. As a matter of fact, 69% equity to the ace deuce of Colin. So he's the initial raiser. They will probably check to him on the flop. So he has the bet and lead right now, and he has the best hand. Ace, Queen, 4. Looks like Illuminati will bet out a flow here, as he's going to be putting in $100 into the $300 pot. Colin's going to call at least once. He might raise to try to get Luis out of the hand, but he's calling for sure. All right, so he does make the call, and I think that's going to bring Luis in as well, as he has middle pair. So a $600 in the middle, still three ways. The 8 of clubs coming. And now the stack sizes are getting kind of shallow. Luis with essentially a stack size bet. Showing Illuminati has $90, but he does have more in his stack. And we'll see if Colin puts in a bet here. Doesn't like his 2 kicker, which might lead him to check behind, but he's just going to slam it in the middle. And Luis actually snap calls him, looking for a king or a queen. Well, actually, he's looking to run it twice. And one time. You can only get lucky once. And it's the 7 of hearts, so Colin going to be taking down that big pot of 1,600. 1,600. So dealer just getting the count. As I said, we do have the $2,000 tournament going on right now. It's only $20 to enter. We do every Friday night. Real fun tournament. If you're not that experienced in poker, if you're not that experienced in tournaments, and also if you are experienced in tournaments, it's a very good test lab to kind of try out some different moves, try out some different things. And it's just $20, $20 rebuys as well. You can also do an add-on to get your chip stack up to $50,000 for $20. So that takes place tonight. Takes place Sunday at 2. We also have ladies' night going on right now. Ladies play for free, so there is no charge for the ladies to play. Normally, it's $12 an hour. It is a social club. There is no rate taken from the pot, so the ladies don't pay the $12 an hour. They get to play for free here on Fridays here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. So it'll be a rebuy for Luis. You can see he left his pink chip there to save it. And I believe we're up to $45 on the small blind game. Sweeney first act is going to be playing this. Might even be raising it. Queen Jack of Hearts. Looks like he's going to be raising it. Looks like 25. Yeah, 25. I like this play from Sweeney. He actually makes it 30. Gets a call from Illuminati with the Queen 7 of diamonds. Vince fan also calling with the 7-6 offsuit. I thought 25 was the perfect sizing, but it turns out the $30 he made it is still not large enough, as everybody seems to be calling here. Ace King from Bob. He's just gonna put in a raise, and it might be all of it. Yeah, it is all of it. I don't think he's gonna get it through. I think either Sweeney with the Queen Jack of Hearts will call him, or I think Don Neto with the 6s will call him, especially after he showed the 4-5 earlier, which is one of the reasons why I thought it was a good idea for him to show the 4-5. And Sweeney snap calls him. Sweeney's actually live here. The only problem is you can see the Queen of Diamonds is in somebody's hand, and the Queen of Clubs is also in somebody's hand. So that's going to cut back on some of his outs. As a matter of fact, it might be about 80-20 situation here. He is suited, so it's going to be probably 75-25. Is Fins Fan going with this hand as well? So Fins Fan, yeah, Fins Fan going with this hand. He called it all off earlier with with 10-9 offsuit, and now he's calling it all off again with 7-6. So the crazy part is nobody has a pair. Neto cannot call three players with sixes.
Lo que mira, no le puede decir como todas las fichas de
If it's heads up, he can call, and he knows this, but he does have a pair. So 3 ways we go. Ace King versus Queen Jack versus 7-6. Pocket sixes has been folded. The Queen 7 of diamonds got folded as well. So 42% right now versus Sweeney's 33, and of course the 7-6 is only going to win this 1 out of every 4 times, 25% of the time. So $1,200 pot. So who's going to hit a pair? Pick me, pick me. 7-5-5. Vince Fan hitting the 7. All right, 9. Let's go 9. It's a 4 of clubs. Does anybody have clubs? Oh, Vince Fan has the club as well. So Vince Fan in real good shape here, and he's going to win with a straight. So New York Bob had the ace king. Kind of crazy. He went all in with 4-5 earlier and won that pot. Granted, he didn't get called. And now he goes all in with ace king and loses this pot. So Finn's fan gambled early on with the 9-10 offsuit, did not win, and gambles again, this time with a worse hand, but has a better result. So also tonight, we do have the high hand promo that's known as the Poker Pyramid. That is going on tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Essentially, if you hit a high hand that has not been hit, you have 13 quads, aces, deuces, threes, fours, fives, all up to kings. And you have the royal flush and you have the straight flush. I do know both the royal flush and straight flush have been hit. So if you hit 4 of a kind, and that is still on the list, then you will get $300 up to the 3rd level already. And the last hand that gets hit is going to be $1,500. Like I said, normally it's a royal, but the royal already got hit. So right now, we have the 2-5 going on right now as you are watching. Then we also have a couple of 1-3 cash game tables. We have 3 tournament tables, plus we have the Poker Pyramid going on. A lot of stuff going on here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley, as we get back to the action at the 2-5. Ace King of spades. Sweeney, he just lost the last hand, and he is back in, and he's going to be coming in for a raise. He made it 30 last time with Queen Jack suited. Makes it 30 again. Neto will fold. New York Bob, who just lost the last hand with Ace King. I think he's going to call this. Queen 8 of clubs. He does put some chips on the button as part of the small blind game. Big Fish immediately calls with the 9s. I might have liked to see a 3-bet from Big Fish there. 1, he's the big winner. 2, chances are he has the best hand. But 3, more importantly, the small blind game is on. So I actually would have liked to see a 3-bet there from the 9s, mainly because the small blind game was going on. And Sweeney flopping a flush draw. New York Bob flopping top pair. But the 9s of Big Fish still out in front. Sweeney's just going to put it all in here. Luis also flopping top pair with the worst kicker. So this might turn into a big hand, as Sweeney is going to be putting the rest of his chips in the middle. No, he just called the 55. Wow. If New York Bob doesn't raise, Big Fish has to raise, but I think New York Bob's going to raise. No, he just calls. All right, Big Fish, you want to take those green chips you have? You want to grab? No. Wow. All right. So what's a spicy turn? A club. Put a club. Club. Wow, the 2 outer hit. And this is going to get Luis in trouble. As Luis has trips, he thinks he has the best hand. And he just goes all in. Sweeney calling with the flush draw. Big Fish is now going to have to fold. New York Bob's not going anywhere.
Good defense.
So New York Bob definitely calling. No, he says all in. He says all in. And now Big Fish, you can see he is agonized, but somebody has the 8 here for sure. I think that's pretty obvious. And like I said, he kind of put himself in this position by not 3-betting his hand. So Big Fish does fold. And we are looking for a spade. Sweeney's looking for a spade. And Louis looking for a 7 or a 4 to chop the pot. So Louis has 1 out to win the pot outright. It is a 9. 2 9s just got folded. And he needs a 7 and a 4 to chop the pot. So Louis is in very, very, very bad shape here. Sweeney's still live with his flush draw. Let's see if Sweeney hits his flush draw. I believe he hit an ace. Yeah, Louis flips over real quick. He thought it was good, but he was not. So Louis losing 2 buy-ins already. And Louis is gone. So Luis, short night for him. Less than an hour into the stream. He will be kicking rocks on his way home. So however Big Fish played the hand, he was losing it because it looks like an ace came on the river and Sweeney would have made the ace against him if both him and the ace-king get it all in pre-flop. So either way, he was losing that hand, and sometimes that's how it goes in poker, that no matter how you play a hand, you're going to lose it. But sometimes the opposite happens. People tend to forget when the opposite happens. No matter how bad you play a hand, you still win it. Trust me, I've seen it happen before, many times. So I believe Sweeney's going to be rebuying, and yes, he does. All right, let's see here with the chat. Somebody watching all the way from Calgary, Canada. So Richard, we appreciate you watching from Calgary, Canada. So I'm not sure if you know this, Richard, or yeah, just like in general, I actually found out how Canada got their name recently. So essentially when it was founded or whatever, everybody in the village got together and they're like, hey, we got to go and figure out a name for this country. So what they did, every letter in the alphabet, okay, they go and they put that in a hat, and essentially they pull out all the letters to go and name the country, right? So boom, the first one they pull out, they're like, it's a C, eh? Then they pull the next one out, it's an N, eh? All right, so back to the action we go. Sorry for the bad joke. Yeah, so Sweeney rebuying, Luis leaving. So we are 8-handed. And I think we have somebody on the wait list to come in. So that's what they're trying to figure out. As Sweeney with the 8-6 will make the call, 8-6 off suit. So it's going to be ace, king, 6. Nuno flopping top pair with a gut shot, and Sweeney with just 8 high. You can see the reader is wrong. The reader's showing jack 6-3. Sometimes that does happen, which is, I think, what happened earlier when I thought that Nuno won the pot against the ace king, that the reader picked up a card wrong. I don't think he had ace queen is what it was, because they did ship the pot over to the ace king. All right, looks like that seat is going to get taken.
They're watching it out there on the stream. Yeah, this guy, no, he came up to me and he's like, man, you're lucky Bob didn't call you with that ace-9 when I had the king. I'm like, yeah.
So it's going to be under the gun action for Colin. He does make the fold. Finn's fan. Queen 4 offsuit. Puts the action on Nuno. He makes the $5 call. Looks like the action will be on Big Fish. Big Fish with the min raise. It's about the 3rd or 4th time he's done it. One time he had a decent hand. He had King 10 of diamonds. The rest of the time, he's been up to no good, and he's up to no good right now, as everybody's going to come along. I'm guessing the reason why he's doing it is because he's on the button. So if he hits, he wants the pot to already be built up. I'm guessing that's why he's doing it in this case. Well, actually, he's in the cutoff, but it was a dead button. So that's the only thing that makes sense to me, as Sweeney flops a gut shot. Illuminati flopping bottom pair. So Sweeney, I think, might take down this hand. $40. $40 bet, and yeah, Big Fish is folding. So Sweeney was the small blind. Sweeney gets the bonus. There you go. It was up to $90. So I believe they started off with $5 on the small blind game, and now it's up to $10. So every time the button has to put out $10. As we will have a dealer switch here. Dealer switch about every hour on the stream. Down on the regular table, they do change out every half hour, every 30 minutes. And of course, they do the bomb pots, but since this is a stream game, no bomb pots, and they change out every hour. So 5-card grease, gamble, gamble. 15 live straddle under the gun from the Finns fan. That'll put the action on seat 1. New York Bob with Queen Deuce into the mug. Big Fish might min raise it here. No, he makes the call with the 5s. It was a $15 straddle, so I think that's why he didn't min raise it. Sweeney coming along. Illuminati with the King 8 in as well. Sweeney with the 7-4. And Finn's fan with the 5-3. So 5-3-3. Ace, Jack, 10. Illuminati with the only face card between the 4 players. So he has a gut shot draw. He does hit the king, but a queen does make a straight. And Finsfan is going to take a shot at it. So Finsfan with the bluff. Illuminati might call. There are 2 clubs on the board, but Illuminati does fold. So Finsfan shows the 5-3. And Illuminati's going to put $10 on the button there. Let's see, there go the $10. So now that's up to $20, and that's only eligible for the small blind to win this hand. And it changes every hand. If the small blind doesn't win, $10 gets added to it. And then on top of that, the small blind has to add the money, at least the previous small blind. So take, for example, seat 8, Colin. If he doesn't win the hand, he's the only one that can win the bonus. If he doesn't win the bonus, then he'll be the button, which means he has to add on more money to it. So it really, really incentivizes the small blind to play pots. Loosens up the action for the small blind for sure. Nuno with the 4s comes right in with the $40 raise. Little 4-4-4 action. Big Fish with the 6s. Ace-9 for Colin. He'll put it in the muck, and Finsfan will put it in the muck. So 6s versus 4s, as there has already been a 4 folded. So 6s with way out in front right now, but Nuno does have the bet-in lead, and he is has a flush draw and a straight draw. I think he's going to continue. Probably puts a Big Fish on some big cards. He'll just bet 25, Big Fish flats. 5 of diamonds? No, it's a 9, so Big Fish with the full house. We'll see if Nuno bets. No, he doesn't, and Big Fish checks behind. Deuce on the river. Nuno thinking what to do. Looks like he's going to bet 35. And Big Fish will be raising this pot. The question is how much? And he makes it 75, so almost a min raise here. And he does get a call, so he will take down the pot. Min raises it and wanted to make it look like he missed diamonds and was giving his opponent a good price. So he did get an extra $40 from Nuno, as Nuno actually raised it $40 under the gun. So now there's $30 on the button, which is part of the small blind game. It is not a straddle. It's part of the small blind game. If you see a player straddle, normally it goes on top of the button like that, but since this is a small blind game, if the button wishes to straddle, the straddle will be in front of the button.
David, is this you? Okay, how much you gonna buy?
So we're just confirming how much this new player is coming in for. Looks like it's going to be 505. So just get into count, that way we can get the graphics correct. 536 is the count. And you can see the $10 button straddle. So the $10 on the side of the button or in front of the button, that is the straddle. The money on top of the button, the $40, is part of the small blind game. And Finsfan has the ace queen. So Finsfan just coming in for the call. I think I might have made it like at least 50 since you have that bonus on there. Gives the price for Nuno to come in with the 7-5. New York Bob making the fold. 9-8 offsuit. I think Big Fish knows it's a bad call. He kind of made a little smirk. I think he felt once he put the chips in his hand, he had to call. And he's all like, all right, I'll call. So out in front right now, the ace-queen of Finsfan, but he does have a lot of cards to avoid. $50 in the pot, 5 ways. And it's going to be 10 high, 10 8-5. So Big Fish actually flopping the best pair here with the 8, and he's going to check it. It's going to go check around, and that'll lead to a deuce. Vince fan going to put some money out there. Looks like he's betting $20 into the $50 pot. Nuno has the pair of 5s, but that's going to get rid of him. Big Fish makes the call, and we will go heads up. Heads up. Vince fan looking for an ace or a queen. And it's going to be a deuce. So does Vince fan bluff? And he does not. He immediately checks. And Big Fish will win this pot to take his stack to over 2,000. 2,400 in his stack. So tomorrow we do have the deep stack going on. And we are live on the YouTube chat. So we do have the YouTube chat available. I do realize we are streaming on other platforms. Like, I believe we're on Facebook and Twitch. I do not have access to those comments. So if you do want to chat, it's going to have to be through YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button. TCH Live, if you're still not subscribed, what are you waiting for? So it'll be action under the gun for New York Bob.
Wednesday night, you weren't here for a hand. Did you hear Isaac? Did you watch the stream at all? You had pocket kings that hand.
Oh, you missed the hand.
Yeah, you missed the hand and you had pocket kings.
Sevens for Sweeney. He's coming in for a raise. Looks like 35. It's 35. Colin with the Jack 10.
Spade money, I don't know.
Vince fan, Queen 10 of diamonds. We'll call with the 2 overcards. And we're going heads up to $77 in the pot. Let's see, it's $77 in the pot, and Sweeney has 7s in his hand. So how is he not going to win this hand? It's a sign. According to Illuminati, it's a sign. And he gets outflopped. Queen high flop, so Finn's fan flopping top pair with the straight draw. This might slow Sweeney down because there are 3 overcards, and he has none of those overcards. It does not slow Sweeney down. He bets 50. Spade. Oh, there's the 7. You see, Illuminati was right. The 7 was coming. The straight draw. Vince Van still has the straight draw, though, so he's not drawn dead. The spade might get him to fold, depending on how big Sweeney bets here. Now there's $177 in the pot. And Sweeney going to put out a $70 bet. There's 7s everywhere. 9? 9? 9? No. So Sweeney will win this hand, as the only question is, will more money go into the pot? Sweeney does bet 200, and I think Vince Fan has to fold here. The flush draw got there. There's some 2-pair combinations that beat him, and there's also the 7s that beat him, the set combinations that beat him. So Vince Fan is thinking about it, and he does make the good fold. Oh, and Illuminati's sitting in seat 7. Wow. Let me grab a dollar bill and see the little. So yeah, on the back of the dollar bill, you know, you got like the pyramid with the eye on it and everything like that. So Sweeney getting to win with the 7s, as Big Fish will now be under the gun, and I believe there's maybe $60 on the small blind game on that button now. So Big Fish first act 9-6 should go into muck, but but it does not. Sweeney just won last hand. Has the Queen 3, the San Francisco busboy, and he'll put that in the muck. 6-4 diamonds.
it literally just drops down straight.
Neto is back, and he is playing his king 6 of clubs. New York Bob is probably just going to call the $5 and does. So 5 ways to a flop we go. $50 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Queen, Jack, 10. Nieto flopping the open-ended. Luminati flopping a pair and open-ended. So he's going to take a shot at this, betting $40, almost a pot-sized bet. Nieto is not folding for one bet. He also has the backdoor flush draw as well. So he should be making the call here. And I was going to say a 9 of clubs would be cool, but Big Fish has the 9 of clubs. I don't think Big Fish can call here with somebody else in the pot. But then again, I didn't think he was going to call with the 9-6 to begin with. The club coming on the turn, so now Nieto picking up the flush draw. Big Fish with still the straight draw. And Illuminati gonna continue here. 170 in the pot. Looks like he's gonna be making it 75, 80. 75, announced by our dealer, Alex. And like I said, Neto with the straight draw and the flush draw. He's not going anywhere. And Big Fish just has to fold now. Okay, he finally does fold. 8 of clubs? 8 of clubs? Nah, 4 of hearts. So Neto misses everything. Will he bluff? He does not. And Illuminati checks right behind him. And we'll take down the $300 pot. So tomorrow we do have the deep stack going on here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley.
I got you. How much you want?
Give me 10.
So it's a $200 entry fee, 50K starting stack. It's called a deep stack, 50K starting stack, 30-minute blind levels. It is 5,000 guaranteed prize pool, 2K for first. Tomorrow here at Texas Card House, tomorrow at 2. Tomorrow at 2, $200 buy-in, 2 p.m., $2,000 guaranteed for first, 5,000 guaranteed prize pool. Saturdays here at the Texas Card House for the month of May. $10-4 into the muck. Colin with the ace-5 suited should be coming in for a raise here. Looks like he makes it 25. Makes it 20. Nuno with the 3-bet, taking the computer hand. 3-bets it. Don Neto makes the call with Queen-Jack offsuit. And Bob is eligible for the bonus from the small blind game. And he's thinking about it with Queen-Jack. And he's coming along. Be kind of a cool if Colin puts in the 4-bet here, but he does not. He's worried somebody has a better ace, but everybody else is sharing each other's cards. So Colin in great shape here. 40%, 4 ways to the flop. 2 spades, he flops a flush draw with some backdoor straight draws. And nobody else flopping a pair, so now Colin at 69%. So Colin checking, and Nuno going with it. This is not going to work. Colin is going to be calling, but Nuno is still going to have some outs as he has some diamonds, and he's got the queen and the 7 as an out. But Colin will be calling. Just get an account to verify. But he has the nut flush draw with backdoor straight draws. And I'm pretty sure he thinks his ace is live as well. So Colin definitely calling here. He's just making sure the count is right, and he does make the call. No, he folded? Wow. So Nuno, I do apologize, folks. I see the cards, and obviously it's easy to know what to do when you see the cards, but I just thought if I was in that position and it's a slam dunk call, but Colin thinking otherwise, and that's one of the great things about poker. I mean, everybody plays their hand differently. You could think that it's right, you could think that it's wrong, but it's their chips, it's their money. They can play their hand however they want. So Sweeney away from the table, he would have had 8s. Illuminati with the deuces. Looks like he's going to be raising. Colin with the queens. If I were him, I would 3-bet. There you go. He does put in the 3-bet to 80. Don Neto with the queen, jack of diamonds. There's a 3-bet in front of him. There's a 3-bet in front of him. So he does have the queen, jack of diamonds. 40% to the royal. He makes the call. Bob should be mucking. Big fish also in the muck. And then David has the king 10 of diamonds. So between David and Neto, it's 80% to a royal flush between the two of them. And now Illuminati is going to go set mining. So deuce of diamonds for some action. Jack high flop for some action. King, jack 5. The king might slow down Colin. Action is on the pocket deuces, who does check. 247 in the pot. Let's see if the king slows on Colin, and it does. So that's going to give the green light to Neto. And he will put out 151. So 150. Does Colin make the call? Neto with middle pair and some backdoor flush draws and backdoor straight draws. Colin made a tight fold on the previous hand. And he's not making another tight fold, at least for now. Neto might ramp it up if a diamond comes here. It's the 8 of clubs. There's already a good amount of money in this pot. There's over $500 in the pot. Neto with a pot-sized bet, so he's going to have to put it all in if he wants to win the pot. And he puts it all in. So this is going to put Colin into the tank. I don't see what type of draw you could put, you could put him in. I mean, I think you have to put him on the king here. Like I said, it's easy when we see the hand, but not knowing what the other guy has, if I have queens here and the other guy fires the flop and then flyers again on the turn, I mean, maybe you can put him like on jack 10 of clubs. Maybe some sort of pair flush draw combo, ace 5 of clubs. So like I said, this is really putting Colin into the tank. He's really thinking here. You can see 2 outs for Neto on the top of the screen, but none of these players know this information. Like I said, Colin's still thinking it. It's basically a pot-sized bet. Bet in 500 on the turn was Don Neto. Did Colin make the call? No, Colin made the fold. So, great play there by Don Neto, getting the queens to fold. Like I said, I mean, it's hard to put him on a bluff once he goes all in on the turn. You just kind of have to put him on the king. Colin 3-bet this hand pre-flop. It was raised from seat 6. Illuminati raised it. He's got the little triangle there, seat 7. Got the triangle there. So he raised it to 20. Colin 3-betted it to 80. And Nieto Colin with the queen jack. So Colin thinking that Nieto had the king, especially after he bet the flop and moved all in on the turn. Made the fold. Believe Neto will fold, which will put the action on New York Bob. Nope. He's gonna see if he's on a heater. Can't win 2 in a row if you don't play the second one. Big Fish making the call with the ace on the button. And David's gonna be coming in here. Small blind game. There's $80 on that button. There's 3 green chips and a red chip. So David is eligible for that bonus as part of the small blind game. Sweeney coming in with the 9-7 of clubs. Don't want to see clubs as David has the jack high clubs. 10-5 deuce. David flopping middle pair. Everybody might check around here. Big Fish does have a gut shot. See if Big Fish takes a stab. He takes a small stab as he bets 20 into 80. And David calling with the best hand and has a shot at that bonus. So $100 into the pot. Big Fish looking for a 4 or an ace. David's probably going to be playing some pot control here, and we'll check his option. He does. Big Fish checks behind. Ace or a 4. It's a deuce. So I think David's going to win this bonus. Yeah, it goes check, check. So David winning the small blind game. Wins with a 5. Wins $100 from the pot. Wins $80 for the bonus. So you can see the green chips on top of the button there. He's going to grab them and then replace them with $10 because the small blind game is still on. Or are they going up to 15 now for the small blind game? I know they started at 5. Somebody won that one. Then they went up to 10. And they might be up to 15 now in the small blind game, which is really, really going to loosen up the range from the small blind. You can see Big Fish the big winner tonight. Almost $2,000. Colin, he's made some tough folds, but he's still winning $800 in this game. Both Nuno and Sweeney on the bottom end. As Colin, once again, coming in for a raise. $20 with the 7-8. And immediately gets 3-bet by Finn's fan with the deuces. So Finn's fan taking his pair, playing it fast, and it might work pre-flop. You can see David has a nice hand, the queen 10 of diamonds. I don't think he could call the 3-bet, but he does have the button, and he's gonna call. He doesn't want to waste the power of the button. You're always last to act. You have the best position on every player for that particular hand. Sweeney with the ace. Small blind game in effect. So he is making the call. Now Colin's pretty much priced in. Illuminati also coming along with the Jack 7 offsuit. So it looks like everybody has live cards with the exception of Colin. Nine high flop. And Illuminati takes the lead. There's $300 in this pot, folks. $300 5 ways. Looks like Illuminati's betting 50, 55. That's not going to get rid of the initial 3-better. Fins fan. Got some backdoor draws for David here. He's getting a real good price. He needs to call 55 to win 410. So David might come along here. He's getting a real good price. Like I said, he still has some backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draws. He also has 2 overcards. So he does make the call. So now we will go 3 ways to a turn of $465 in the middle. And it's a 10. He hits one of those backdoor outs. So David getting a real good price, decided to peel. And it's going to pay off as Illuminati bets another 50. And Vince Van's still not going anywhere. Let's see if David puts in a raise here. His pot is already $565. David with about $500 behind. So David with about a pot-sized bet left if he chooses to raise this hand. He's calling for sure, and no, he's just going with it. Yep. He called, wanted to hit one of his outs, and he hit one of his outs and immediately moves all in. And this should end the hand. I don't see Finn's fan calling as he was the initial raiser. Illuminati is thinking about it. It's going to be for a good chunk of his stack there. I don't think anybody's calling, but I have been proved wrong multiple times tonight.
I like the short. I like the, you know, like my chips, my soft draw, you know.
And no, nobody does call. So David taking on that pot, 2 in a row. I see great chips on that button. I thought David won the small blind game last time, unless if he forgot to take out the chips. Or unless if they went up to $25 on the small blind game. I mean, there are times that that's happened where I've seen that they're playing a small blind game and the player from the small blind wins the hand and forgets to take off the chips. And I think once the next hand's dealt, I think that's it. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the rules are or exactly what the right thing to do is in that situation, but I think once the next hand starts, that might be it for that. Live straddle under the gun, Finn's fan making it 20. Puts the action on Neto. Queen, 9 of spades. He's probably going to call here. Yep. King 8 offsuit, New York Bob into the muck. Big fish muck in his hand. David won the previous 2 hands. Might call here just to play his rush. What's better than calling? Raising. So he bumps it up to 100. It was a $20 under the gun raise, 1 caller in between. David filled in the 1 caller in between. Didn't have a strong hand. And he does have Don Nieto dominated here. Queen Jack versus Queen 9. $80 more for C2, and he does make the fold. So 3 in a row. Turkey time. Gobble, gobble, goo, and gobble, gobble, giggle. I wish turkey only cost a nickel. So David with 3 hands in a row. Fuego. Let's see if we've got any more action in the chat here, folks. My boy Big Fish is killing it. Aldo Hernandez. So he's rooting for Big Fish.
That's how I got my look. So it's been like 19 years. You know? I moved out of the house and I just changed my look. You know?
All right, so Jack 9. And he will come in for the call. New York Bob bumping it up to 35 with the 7-5.
Go to the beach, I gotta wear a hat now, yeah, for sure.
That's a big one for me.
Sweeney with the 9 deuce. Thinking about it, it's suited. I think Sweeney likes to play blackjack. So Illuminati also with the suited cards. He's going to be suited in hearts. Colin coming along, going after that small blind bonus. Colin with the Jack 8 of clubs. And Finn's fan going to be putting in the 3-bet. He did this earlier, and his sizing was off. And I think his sizing is going to be off again as he makes it 155. New York Bob making it 35, picking up 2 callers behind. So I think it's just going to be 2. And yeah, that is the case. New York Bob calling with the 7 high here. Yeah, so New York Bob made it 35 and he picked up 2 other callers. Finn's fan 4-bet in it to 155, but the sizing was just too small. All right, Sweeney's finally going to fold the 9 deuce here. Illuminati has a suited ace, and he's not folding. This might bring Colin along, and the reason why is because of the small blind game. He does have that bonus. His clubs are live right now. His clubs are good, and his cards are live as well. The Jack 8 is live as well. So, like I said, he might come along. No, he makes the fold. So, 3 ways to the flop of the triple nickel 555 in the middle. $7-5 versus A6 versus King Queen, and nobody hits anything. Finn's fan immediately checks it. New York Bob, let's see if he postures at it. Everybody checks around, and the turn's going to be a 6 of clubs. That's the best turn for Bob. New York Bob turns a flush draw and a straight draw. He is open-ended, so he is going to bet his cards, bets just under half pot, bets 250. Illuminati picks up a pair here, so he makes the call. And New York Bob's going to have to bomb this on the river if he misses, but he does have a ton of outs. He's actually, I was going to say he's actually favored. He's not favored to win right now, but it's 59 to 41. Whatever happens, Bob is betting this river. Whatever card comes. If he misses, he's going to bluff. If he hits his hand, he's going to bet it for value. So whatever happens, New York Bob is putting chips in the middle. It's the 8. New York Bob is going to have to bluff it. Does the paired board, is the paired board going to scare him off? If the 300 behind Illuminati is correct, yeah. New York Bob did put him all in. Illuminati just had less than $300 in his stack, so he wasn't folded. So, yeah, like I said, whatever card came out, and as soon as I said that, I'm like, well, maybe if the board pairs, he doesn't bet. Of course, the board paired, but he still continued on, which might have worked or probably would have worked if the other player didn't have so few chips. Illuminati had less than $300, and you could see the pot was already over over $1,300. So Illuminati just had too few chips to fold, and he does make the call, and he does get chipped that huge pot. Huge. So Richard in the chat, we need a new commentator. I've been wrong on a lot of these plays tonight. I will admit that. I mean, it's easy to see when you see the cards, you think you have a good idea on what the players will do. But like I said, everybody plays their hand different, and that's one of the things that makes the game nice. I don't think he's serious because he's got a bunch of laughing emojis afterwards. And Aldo's also sending a shout out to Alex the dealer. Apparently, every time he deals to him, he doubles up when he's dealing. So that's a good dealer to have there. Alex the dealer, Alex Sinaloa. So Big Fish, the big winner of the night, looks like he is getting a massage now. Ace King for Illuminati, as he has New York Bob dominated here. New York Bob coming in for the raise with King Jack offsuit, and Illuminati's just going to call. So New York Bob does not want to hit a king here. Ace 10. Is it Ace 10 or?
I don't get it until I'm driving back home.
I don't know if Finn's fan has Ace 10 or 10-4 because Ace 10 initially popped up. But either way, he's calling, and the reason why he's calling is because of the small blind game. I know that pot's pretty big now, that little bonus pot. It's going to be Ace, Jack, Deuce. So the Ace King Illuminati, it's going to get checked to him, $200 in the pot. He'll probably bet about half pot here. He bets exactly half pot. See, Richard, sometimes I am right. And Bob's going to call him. A king will be very gross. Wow. New York Bob comes from behind. I think he's going to check it here and go for the check raise. Yes, he does check it. So now the action's on Illuminati. He bets 100. I think New York Bob is check raising him. Let's see here. Alex getting the count. And yes, indeed, it is a check raise. Raises it to 240. So the King Jack was in horrible shape pre-flop, even worse shape on the flop, but does catch a 2-outer to go out in front 95%. So now Illuminati has a 1-outer. If a diamond comes, it might save him some money. No, it's the heart that comes. How much does Bob have left in his stack? Bob has $500, $578. The pot is $880. Bob's probably just going to go all in here. So Bob is thinking, and he does go all in. He gets snap called, and he is going to see that he got really lucky. Ace King versus King Jack.
Really? You got me, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
After that,
It went back to you, bro.
after that sixes hand.
Shit. I got you at the beginning, bro. You got me in the tournament.
Oh, Richard didn't like the Canada joke. Okay, yes.
I guess they're going back to you.
In my defense, I did say it was a bad joke as well.
All in account.
I thought Canadians were friendly.
It's not a 532. good news is I don't charge interest on my loan.
Shit. What is it? How much?
532.
So high hands going on tonight as part of the poker pyramid. The poker pyramid, we have the high hands Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then during the week,
I'm going home.
there's the different high hands during the week, Tuesdays through Thursday. You got the little barcode there as well.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. How much they charge for a party? Like 100? Yeah, you just get the headset microphone and you just start.
All right, cleaning up the pot.
Didn't you get your 6 on the turn? Didn't you get your 6 on the turn? You got your 6 on the turn.
You would have fun.
Yeah.
I always have fun.
You could do that business.
Like yesterday when I was saying that she gets tired, I was seeing me happy.
All right, so about an hour and a half into tonight's stream, up to 90 viewers across the platform, or across YouTube, shall I say. Oh, that's a funny comeback for Mr. Hernandez. He must be from the French side. Well, if it's the same Richard, he's not from the French side. He's from Western Canada, Calgary. But that is funny.
It's good for the goose and good for the. Yeah, right. The fastest loan in history.
Yeah, the French side, the Quebec. So Big Fish coming in with the Jack 9. I thought he was just going to enjoy his massage. Sweeney coming in for the raise. No. So the waitresses do here offer massages. It is a $1 a minute. So an hour massage will set you back $60. Vince fan with the ace on the river. Small 3-bet coming from Illuminati. And Vince fan thinks that he is weak. So Vince fan will 4-bet it to $80. And Nuno is going after the bonus. This is the only reason why he's playing the hand. Quick 9 offsuit, the only reason why he's playing the hand. I think there's over $100 on the small blind game on the bonus. Big Fish trying to pull back his $10. And Alex immediately stepping in there. Sweeney calling with the 10s. And this is probably going to bring in Illuminati, and does. So 4 ways to a flop we go. The 10's out in front right now. The 10's winning here 50% of the time. Has to avoid an ace, has to avoid a queen as the flop comes out. Does not avoid the queen. So Nuno might put in a big bet here. 335. This was a 4-bet pot. But he does have the bonus for the small blind game. I could see him putting in a big bet here. Just kind of wanted to take it down. 335 in there. Probably going to be betting at least 200, maybe 300. It looks like he's betting 205 or 180. 180. And you can see all the green chips on the button there. That is the bonus. Vince fan has a backdoor flush draw, but I don't think he's going to be able to call here, and he finally gives it up. So the small blind going to Nuno. You can see him perks up, winning the hand, and perks up, grabbing the bonus. There he is, confirming, hey, this is mine, right? Yeah, that is yours. So he's going to put it back on. Let's see what they're in for. It's $10. So Nuno winning the hand and winning the bonus.
Those are not me. Those are for like Peter.
So it looks like Big Fish with the under the gun straddle. $10 to go. Action will be on seat 5, David. I don't think he's in his seat. So action will now be on Sweeney. Jack 7 offsuit. I can see Sweeney calling here. He likes to see flops.
Get a fake one and let's go.
Me and him used to go a lot, like 15
Wait,
years
you
ago.
tried to do 10, right?
Straddle.
Sorry.
So Sweeney's definitely thinking about coming along. And he's going to raise it. Makes it 25.
You're fun, Peter. You're a party.
Immediate call from Illuminati with a better 7, the king 7 of hearts. Nuno just won the last hand. He will make the call on the button. Bob will probably get rid of this. There's only $10 on that small blind. If there was more money, he might call. Big Fish getting a real good price. Close off the action. Is dominated, but he's getting a real good price. He does have hearts. The hearts are dominated. He has a jack. The jack is dominated. So Big Fish is going to have to hit a 6 to win this hand. King 10 4. Illuminati flopping top pair. And nobody else with anything really. Nuno flopping bottom pair, but Sweeney. Sweeney going to be betting a pot-sized bet. And you can see immediately Illuminati's starting to cut out chips. I don't think it's going to bring Nuno along. He does have bottom pair. Maybe if he had a backdoor flush draws. He does have backdoor straight draws. But he is... Yeah, I don't think he could call this. There you go. Into the muck. So be heads up. Sweeney needing some backdoor outs. Jack 7 club, 9, queen. Oh, 7 doesn't do anything, excuse me. It's the 8. So now he does have a 9 as an out. And he has a 9% chance of hitting that 9. So Sweeney checks, Illuminati going all in, and Sweeney call? It's showing Sweeney only has 122 behind, but I'm pretty sure Sweeney started the hand with more than that. Sometimes the stack sizes are, yes, Sweeney finally does fold.
I told her, but she's dating someone. Sorry. Huh? You could have been you. She's not here. She seems to, yeah.
So Illuminati picking up that pot. And that'll, let's see here. Is this going to be the VPIP? No, it's pre-flop raising. So pre-flop raising is Illuminati last right now, which is 7%. 7% of the time he was the pre-flop raiser. Nuno out of seat number 1, up at 31%. And Big Fish, he was raising a lot early on. He was doing the real small 3-bets early on, so that helped build up that percentage to 21%. Action will be in seat 5, David under the gun. Ace-8 offsuit. I think he's going to fold. Sweeney. Jack-7 again. Called with it raised with it last time. This time he suited. And he makes it 25 again. And I think Illuminati's going to come along again. He does. King-Queen offsuit. Finn's fan with the 5-3 of clubs also coming along. Don Neto. He makes the call out. I was going to say out of the small blind, but no, he's on the button. And Big Fish will make the fold. So 4 ways to the flop we go. Over $100 in the middle. 9 high flop, 9-4-5. So Finn's fan flopping the best hand. Let's see if he makes a bet. $100 in the pot. Should be betting about 60. 65. Neto makes the fold. Sweeney is not done with this hand. He has some backdoor draws. Backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draws. He's not done with the hand. He might get a free turn and river here. Well, he paid for the turn, but he might get a free river as Finn's fan might check.
Anyways, then I was there, and I almost went
So Sweeney now picking up the straight draw.
for some chilaquiles.
Sweeney just might go all in here. He only has like about another 150 in his stack. It's showing he just has 32, but no, he has. Yeah, he does go all in. And Finn's fan makes the call. So Finn's fan out in front right now. 77% chance to win. Sweeney needs a jack, a 7, or a 9. Excuse me, jack, a 7, or an 8. And there's the 7. So Sweeney will scoop it. Finn's fan is going to see the hand and figured he was beat by a 9, beat by a 10, but not beat by a 7. And he will muck it. So nice hand for Sweeney Todd. Or Sweeney, excuse me.
Oh, it's my unlucky chip.
Where did you get it?
It's from our location in Dallas.
If you're interested on being on the live stream here at Texas Card House RGV, we do have a stream every Wednesday and every Friday. So if you live in South Texas or if you ever visit in South Texas, you can come out on the stream here. TCH Live. It is RGV Live at TexasCardHouse.com. You can reach out. Once again, that's RGV Live at TexasCardHouse.com. If you're in the area, you also have the option to sign up on Poker Atlas as well. So ace-4 of hearts for Sweeney. And he's just going to limp. Just one last hand. Calling with the 5s. Going to bump it up. Is it 35 or 40? So 35. Finn's fan right behind. Calls with the ace-3 offsuit. Looks like everybody's coming in here. Nuno with the queen-jack offsuit. Neto with the ace-jack offsuit.
Not me, boys.
David with the 10-4 going to have to fold. And Sweeney's coming along. So 3 aces. Ace-3 versus ace-4 versus ace-jack. A pocket pair of 5s. And Illuminati actually folds. Thought he would call with the king-8 as he was closing the action. So put a king on that board. King and an 8. Does put the 8, but also puts the jack. Queen-jack versus ace-jack. So Nuno versus Neto. This is going to hurt somebody. $100 bet coming from Nuno. And Neto just going to stuff it in the middle. So very draw-heavy board. There's a flush draw and a straight draw out there. And like I said, he decides just to go with it, just to go all in. Doesn't want to see a turn that can either beat him or that can either kill the action. A lot of turns. Basically anything like a 7 through a queen would kill the action. And he does take down the pot. So $250 win for Ernesto. And the button game continuing on. Excuse me, the small blind game. Put in that extra $10 on the button. Looks like we have a dealer change coming. So Alex going out to the main floor as there are a couple of 1-3 tables going. There's also the $20 tournament. We run the $20 tournament every Friday night. And like I said, it's a very fun tournament. Like if you're not that experienced with tournaments or not that experienced at poker at all, you can come on out Fridays at 6, Sundays at 2. The $20 tournament does start at 2 on Sundays. It's a $20 buy-in, $20 rebuys, 20K started stack, 20-minute levels. So dealer change. Looks like we got Johnny V coming in. He's from the Star County area. the Rio Grande Valley, there's 3 counties that make up the area
Sometimes I'll get the
of the
people
Rio
to
Grande Valley.
have them go
Hidalgo, which is the biggest county, the county that we're in.
that day for the haircut.
Then you have Cameron County, you have Willacy County, and you have Star with 2 R's. Star County. That's where you have Rio Grande City, Roma.
Oh, he's freezing.
So action will be on Nuno, and he'll get rid of the 5-3. Neto. King 10 offsuit, just won the last hand, probably at least calling the 5. And he's going to be raising to 25. New York Bob folding an ace. 9-4 for David out of the small blind, but he does have the bonus to go after. And that is why he's calling the raise. And Sweeney loves to see flops. We'll see a flop with 10 deuce of hearts. King 9-6.
They lose the first 2.
David's going to be calling a bet here as he flops middle pair and he has the small blind bonus out. Don Neto, El Jefe, putting out a big bet. Is that 60? Is that 85? So he bets basically pot. So he's really going to make David pay for it. And David says, no, thank you. So back-to-back hands for Neto. Remember, we do have the chat live on YouTube. We are streaming on a lot of platforms. Got the YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. But if you do, I only have access to the YouTube chat. So just FYI for everybody out there. Even the Canadians. All right, under the gun, we have Colin. He'll get rid of that. And it'll be on Nuno. Nope. Neto won the previous 2 hands. Might just play this one. He's coming in for a raise to 15. That'll put the action on the button. David. Got the Queen 8 offsuit. Puts in the 3-bet. Wants to get heads up with Neto. Sweeney folding the ace. And Illuminati is out as well. So another $30 for Neto to call, and I believe he is. Heads up to a flop we go. Looks like we got about 100 in the middle. 10-7 deuce. So nobody flopping anything. And David, the action is on him. Was the pre-flop aggressor. He 3-bet with Queen High. And he will put out a small bet here, which will take it down. We also got some early bird specials here at the Texas Card House. Play 1 hour, get 2 hours for free every day. So as long as you are clocked in before 11 a.m., the doors open at 9 a.m. every day. But if you're clocked in before 11, you play 1 hour, you get 2 hours for free. So it's $12 an hour, and then you'll get 2 for free. So 3 hours for $12. Nice value there. All right, action under the gun. Ace 5. Oh, there's a straddle, I believe. So he does call the $20 straddle. Neto, I think, is going to call this. It's a suited queen. He's just confirming if it's a straddle or a raise. You can see him point over to seat number 9 there, confirming with the dealer if it was a straddle or a raise. Did New York Bob have aces? I thought I saw aces flop on the screen, flash on the screen, and I believe he was the one in seat 3. So Sweeney taking the 10-8, putting in the 3-bet here. I like it. He has the button. Even if he gets called, he's going to have position in the hand. So is New York Bob in seat 3? Because I thought I saw aces flop up and fold. Let me see. No, he is there. Or maybe he just got back. Doesn't look like anybody's folding here, as both the ace-5 and queen-9 call. 237 into the pot, 3 ways we go. And it'll be an 8-high flop, 2 spades. So Sweeney, the pre-flop aggressor, is going to be betting here. How much is he going to bet? There's already 237 in the pot. He just might go all in. He basically bets all his chips. Yep, bets $200. Like I said, he had about a pot-sized bet. A gut shot for Nuno. I don't see him calling, especially with a player behind. And there is the muck. And Neto also folding. So Sweeney picking up the pot there. Looks like we got a couple of players away from the table right now. So live stream here. So that last hand, I know you can rewind it, but let me know in the chat if somebody had aces there that was away from the table, because I thought I saw aces flash up on the reader, but it happened so fast. And my stream here is I cannot rewind or I cannot go forward as it is live for me. Everything I see on the screen is the same thing you see. I'm not able to rewind. So let me know in the chat if somebody had aces that last hand. I thought I saw aces flash on the screen. I might be wrong. All right, big fish. No, it's going to be Bob with the hand. He's going to be raising. Is it 50 or 60? It's 50. Big Fish is done with his massage, but he doesn't play the 8-7. Pocket tens of David. Call him for sure. Will he put in the 3-bet? He does. It's on the small size. He goes from 50 to 150, so 3X's it. So New York Bob's calling for sure. Might put in the 4-bet, as everybody else doesn't really have a hand to call. And now let's see what New York Bob does. Yeah, he's just cutting out the call. So ace queen versus tens. The tens will win 57% of the time. And not this time, at least not now. So ace queen, the ace coming up, and does David put in the C-bet? And he does put in the C-bet, so Bob's going to be calling here. How much did David bet? David bet 150. So Bob's calling for sure. Does have the ace of hearts, which makes him feel even better. Is New York Bob going to raise? He's not thinking about folding. He's thinking about raising. Just makes the call. 10 of hearts will be gross. And he immediately checks. But I think David's going to check behind. 2 overcards to his pocket tens. He's got to put Bob on that ace. But Bob really thinking on the turn, but David does check, and it does come a 6. So New York Bob going to be going for value here. Let's see how much. Probably about 300. 300 a nice size. I like 300. Let's see what New York Bob likes. New York Bob, betting just 150. So I think David's going to call here. The pot up to 777. Maybe there's something with this Illuminati stuff. Wow, New York Bob giving David a great price. I might just call out of curiosity. Not gonna lie, I might just call out of curiosity. And that's what David's thinking. David's pretty sure he's beat. New York Bob raised it to 50 pre-flop. David 3-bet to 150. New York Bob called. Flop comes out. New York Bob checks. David bets 150. New York Bob calls. Turn goes check, check. And now the river, New York Bob leading for 150. And he does make the call, like I said. Just the curiosity call there. Really can't fault him because I saw the hands and I think I would have just called out of curiosity. Getting a real good price. He does beat a bluff. He does beat Miss Hearts, Miss Straight Draw. So he did beat like King Queen there. New York Bob giving him a real good price, and he will make an extra 150 there.
Bro, so I wanted to watch this movie yesterday. That one? I fell asleep like halfway through. I woke up with the credits. Planet of the Apes.
All right, heavy in the chat.
No, it was just the seats were so comfortable. I had my feet up. Like, yeah, the new one.
He's not heavy. He's my brother.
It was interesting until I passed out.
So what's up, heavy? So 2 hours into tonight's stream. Got about another 2 hours to go. And the action will be on seat 2. Deuce is wild. King, Queen of Hearts. Does he race? He's calling. Does he race? Just calling. King, Queen of Hearts. Big Fish. Also calling with the Ace-10. Offsuit. And Sweeney with the 4-5. Sees the limpers. Decides to punish him with the natural 9. Finn's fan has the bonus. He's eligible for that bonus. Small blind game in effect. Calling with the Jack-6. Wow, okay. Like I said, it really loosens up the game, the small blind game. And we are going 5 ways to a flop. Flop is 8 high. Sweeney with the 4. Nuno with the 8. And it's going to be Neto with the bet. Sweeney has a pair. I was going to go, he's not going to be letting it go. He's actually going to be raising here. Wow, this is going to put Nuno in a weird spot. So Sweeney has a pair. He has some backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draws. Nuno with the best hand right now, the 8-7, but he cannot like the action in front of him, and he does fold. Neto has backdoor flush draws and backdoor pair draws. So he still doesn't want to get rid of the king-queen. Just too pretty to put in the muck right now, at least. He's picking up a heart, so he's not going anywhere. He's either going to put Sweeney all in or Sweeney's going to move all in. He put Sweeney all in. Sweeney should be calling here. Sweeney has 300 in his stack. It's an $800 bet. So like I said, Sweeney should be calling here. And I think he... I think he finally does. Keep in mind, Sweeney was the initial raiser with the 4-5. And then he raised on the flop as well.
All the draws missed. I'm like, damn, Bob's gonna have to fire here because he missed everything again. And I was like, he's gonna get
And there we go. Sweeney makes a call. Sweeney's out in front right now. Needs to avoid a heart, a king, or a queen. And he does avoid everything. So Sweeney taking the 4-5, making it a winner. No? Wait, the dealer's pushing up. Jack 9. Yeah, there we go. Gonna push up the 4 there. There we go. Yeah, so Sweeney didn't think he was good with his 4, so he waited for Nieto to fold to show his cards. And you couldn't see that on the screen. So once Neto showed his cards, the dealer pushing up the 5 cards that he was playing, which was the Jack, the 9, and the 8 with the King and the Queen. Those were the best 5 cards. And then once Sweeney saw that he won, he's all like, all right, now I'll show my hand. And the dealer pushes up the 4. So those are the cards he's playing, those 4 cards along with the 4 in his hand. So Sweeney's been very active, not surprised, and I said at the very beginning, he likes to see flops. And he's actually out of the hole with that. He's now has a small profit of $182. Finn's fan, the big loser so far, he's down 1,000. Big Fish, the big winner so far. And Colin, he won the first hand of the stream, and he's just kind of been steady. As looks like we have no straddle. Big Fish trying to induce New York Bob to put out a straddle so he could double straddle. All right, so action will be on New York Bob. Queen 9 offsuit. We'll probably put that in the muck. Does. Big Fish with the fold. Action on seat 5, David. Into the muck. Sweeney. I don't think he's voted. No, he does vote. Okay. Oh, I think Sweeney needs to go to the restroom. Pocket 8's a Finn's fan. We'll raise it up to 30. And he picks up callers from both the small blind and the big blind. So the 8's, I think, a little confused right now, as it's all hearts and he's the only one with a heart. So Nuno does flop bottom pair, and he is going after the bonus for the small blind. I think Finn's fan is going to fire here. He fires 50. He does have the heart. Nuno might call once just because of the small blind game. He's eligible for the bonus, and that's what he's thinking. He's going, well, I have a pair. And yes, he does call. Neto will make the fold. So Nuno looking for a jack or a deuce. The jack cannot be a heart, though. It's going to be a queen. I wonder if that slows down Finn's fan. Finn's fan does have the 8 of hearts. He bets 50, a small bet, but Nuno has had enough. And that money on the button is going to be growing to about, I think it's going to go up to like 100. I believe they're up to 10 on the button there. You can see Sweeney's been the most aggressive. He's definitely been involved in the most pots. He is 33% aggressive frequency. And heavy like in Sweeney.
No, Sweeney won one. So did
So it looks like we have a double straddle here. Big Fish making it 10. Straddle under the gun. Oh, Colin with the aces. 70? Oh, Colin only makes it 50. That's going to bring Finn's fan along. Colin with a small size in here, maybe hoping for a back raise. Nuno. Colin with the 10-6 offsuit, and Colin's going, well, what is going on here? King 3, Neto. He has the bonus. It's $100 that he's eligible for in this hand. Big Fish, I don't know what he has, but he's getting a pretty good price here. Big Fish with the 4-5. I think he's going to call. He's just smirking because he knows it's a bad hand, but he knows he's getting an awesome price.
What's that over there?
No, he's didn't want anybody to know that he folded because he was getting such a good price. And David Colin with the ace-7. So Colin with the small size in, and you can see he picks up 5 callers. Bets 50, picks up 5 callers. 8, 8, 6. Does anybody have an 8? Nobody has an 8. But Nuno has a 6. So Colin needs to c-bet this. What size is he going to go for? Probably something small, maybe like 125. Going to bet at least 100. No, he's checks. Okay. And Nuno with the good check. Could have got in trouble there. 7 of spades coming on the turn. So now we have some straight draws available for some players. New York Bob, a 10 would make him a straight. A 9 would make Nuno a straight. A 9 would also make Finn's fan a straight. And now Eric with the pair might think that he's good here. And Eric sees $310. David sees $310 out there, and he's going to take a stab at it. Looks like he bets $100. I don't think Colin could fold here, especially with the ace of spades, and it's actually an $85 bet. So Colin getting a real good price here. I don't think he can fold just yet. He doesn't love the situation just because there's so many players in the hand. Nuno might call here with the pair and the straight draw, and it looks like he's reaching for chips. And I think New York Bob's going to call as well. And there goes New York Bob. He's closing the action. So this pot is going to be like $600 after New York Bob calls. Yeah, 650. So 650 in. As one player looking for a 9, one player looking for a 10, one player looking for a 7. And Colin just hoping his aces don't get cracked. And his aces are not going to get cracked. So it's going to be hard for David to fold here. David does have a full house. It's going to be hard for him to fold. It's going to be hard for him to put anybody for a big pocket pair. But Colin does have a big pocket pair. So 650 into this pot. That's actually a real good river for Colin. And David betting $100. So Colin for sure calling. So Colin for sure calling here. Maybe the min raise? No. He's worried about the other 2 players. Oh, wow. That's going to bring in Nuno. And everybody's going to be freaked out when Colin shows the aces. Everybody's going to be like, what? And you can see David's smirk there. Like, really, bro? Big Fish led at the table. No, he folded 4-5. He would have turned a straight. So big hand for Colin there. That'll put him over $1,000 winning for the session. Colin joining us tonight, all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Good river, how come?
So I don't know if they put in the 10 on the button yet, because I still see green chips out there. Or maybe it's up to 125 now. But the small blind game's still in effect. Hasn't been won in a while.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then it checks through, so. Thank you.
All right, so action will be on David. And Sweeney is back. And let's see what Sweeney does. Sweeney making the call. Illuminati with the queen deuce. Both of them were away. So they're itching to play. And Finn's fan looks like he's going to be raising here. Ace king of clubs makes it 35. Good size in here from Finn's fan. As Nuno. Oh, Nuno's calling with the 7-5. Okay. New York Bob with the ace-3 will just call. Big Fish making sure his cards are scanned properly, and they are. I don't think these other players are folding. Sweeney makes a call, and Illuminati folds. So ace-king out in front right now will win 50% of the time against this lineup.
It's still early. Yeah, way early. You know, by 20.
Jack high flop. Nobody has a jack. I believe the reader thinks there's an ace out there, but I'm pretty sure I saw a jack high flop. Sometimes that does happen. The RFID reader picks it up wrong. Yeah, that is a jack high flop. Jack 4 deuce. Jack 4 deuce. So that ace of diamonds is not an ace of diamonds. It is a deuce. The pre-flop aggressor is Finn's fan, so he's going to continue on. New York Bob with a gut shot. Needs a 5 to hit the gutter. Sweeney also with a gut shot. He needs a 3 to hit his gut shot. Now Sweeney has some good equity here because his 5 and 6 are also live. Now, the percentages on the reader are wrong because they think an ace is on the board, but an ace is not on the board. Sweeney actually has some real good equity here. 5 is live. Queen of hearts, I think it just might go check around. Nobody has anything. So I think this is going to go check around. And the reader showing a king. Once again, we could all see the board there. It is a queen. Oh, Sweeney taking a shot here. There's $300 in the pot, and Sweeney looks like he's going to bet 200. I don't think anybody can call. Sweeney's betting 250. So Finn's fan with just ace high. It's suited too. I mean, he doesn't want to fold. I think he has to. It's a $250 pot into $300. Once again, the board is ace, deuce. No. It's jack, 4 deuce. Oh, wow. Finn's fan is calling with a gut shot. Finn's fan is calling with a gut shot here. He did not want to give it up here. Does Sweeney go all in on the river? Because Sweeney has about a pot-sized bet left. And it's a queen. So Sweeney with 6 high has just Sweeney does it. Sweeney goes for it. There's no way Finn's fan calls. What a move by Sweeney. Now, once again, the reader's showing that it's 6, but it's not. We can clearly see the board. Queen, queen, jack, 4 deuce. Finn's fan with ace, king, just ace high. I mean, the flush draw did miss. The flush draw did miss. Finn's fan still hasn't folded. Sweeney with the 6 high, hoping and praying that Finn's fan folds. Wow. I can't believe Finn's fan is thinking about this. The thing is, if he calls, he's right. He has to specifically put him on a missed flush draw. He has to put him on a missed draw. I mean, there's some straight draws that missed. There's some flush draws that missed. So if the river was a heart, I think Finn's fan would have already folded. But there's so many draws that missed. And he's thinking about putting on the cape. He's thinking about putting on the cape. I would really like to see the shot of Sweeney right now to see his poker face. Finn's fan is still thinking about this. Wow, give him credit, folks. He feels like Sweeney is up to something. He's right, but he has to pay $700 to see if he's right. Is he going to put on the cape? Finn's fan finally makes the fold. So Finn's fan couldn't pull the trigger. He knew something did not add up. Something did not feel right, and he was correct. But Sweeney bet $700. He was going to have to pay $700 to see if his feeling was right, and he just did not want to do that. And Sweeney telling him, hey, you can see it in 15 minutes, bro. Wow, that would have been crazy if Finn's fan would have called there. He knew Sweeney was up to something, but $700 was just too much. So Sweeney's still stacking the chips, and the action will be on Sweeney. I think there's 9-7 to Sweeney, 9-7 for Sweeney. So yeah, he's calling. Finn's fan bumping it up with the ace-9. And he's getting 3-bet by Nuno with the suited ace. Does Sweeney call the 3-bet here? No. Finn's fan's calling. All right, so heads up to a flop we go. Ace-9 versus ace-deuce. 10-10-5. Finn's fan does check. Nuno checks behind. Oh, the ace comes on the turn. That's going to get Finn's fan in trouble. Does he lead? No, I'm sorry. Finn's fan is actually out in front. It's going to get Nuno in trouble. I knew one of them had the ace-deuce. The 9 kicker is playing. I think Finn's fan is going to bet again, and Nuno's just going to have to call. So I'm pretty sure Nuno has more than $100 left. But either way, it went check on the river. 9 kicker plays. All right, let's check in on the chat. Remember, do have access to the live chat here. Heavy making a comment that the game looks splashy, and there are definitely some players splashing around. I mean, hey, it's 2-5 on a Friday night. It's the weekend. You're playing on the stream. So Heavy thinks the game is splashy, and then Dalton thinks people are playing too tight. So completely opposite opinions. A little funny. Looks like Fletcher popping in to the chat. Okay, just checking out the chat. Back to the action we go. Looks like there's 130 in there for the small blind game, and And it looks like seat number 2, Neto. Ooh, was going to come back, but I think he's going to go smoke a cigarette. So Nuno raising to 50 with the ace-3. David making the call. He's out of the small blind going after that bonus. Looks like 135, the small blind game. Illuminati calling with the King 10 offsuit. I believe he straddled. All spades. The King of Spades versus the Ace of Spades. This might get messy, folks. Ace of Spades versus King of Spades. And Illuminati's going to lead out, and then Nuno's just going to put it in. And he thinks he needs to hit a spade, but he does not. David actually flopping a pair here. So I don't think Illuminati's folding. He has a straight draw and a flush draw. His straight draw is not good, though. His straight draw is good. His flush draw is not good, but I'm pretty sure he feels like his flush draw is good. 184 looks to be the bet. And David really considering calling here. Looks like a dead race. So if David does call, Illuminati cannot re-raise because it has to double the bet. So if it would have been at least $200, then Illuminati would not be able to re-raise. But since it's less than double the bet, he's not able to. So David thinking about calling here. He has a pair. He has a straight draw, and the small blind game is in effect. So he's really, really thinking about it here. I don't think his stack size will allow it to. He only has 375 in, so he's going to be putting in about half his stack. So I don't think he's going to be coming along just because it's going to cost him too much of his stack. But you can see he's really thinking about it. And the main reason why he's thinking about it is because of the small blind game. Once again, if you don't know what that is, every time a player's on the button, they put $10 on the button as a bonus for the small blind. The only player who can win the bonus is the small blind. And the way the small blind wins that bonus is by winning the hand. So every hand, one player, and that player is a small blind, has a chance at a bonus. If the small blind does not win that hand, the following hand, the button will move. They will put $10 more on, and then the next small blind will be eligible for it. And that keeps growing until the small blind hits it. So the small blind game, that's up to $140 bonus for David. And he's like really, really torn here. And that's the reason why, because of the small blind game. Because he knows he has that extra bonus. He has a pair and a straight draw, and Illuminati's not able to re-raise. All right, David finally lets go. Illuminati's going to call. It's an extra $84. And there's the call. He thinks his flush draw is live, but it is not. Okay, and that's it. That's the end of the hand. Oh, he hit it straight, but he has the straight there, but it is not good. The straight's not good. The flush isn't good. It is the ace high of Nuno. Will make the call. Will win the pot. So almost a $500 pot there. As Nuno really hasn't been able to get anything going tonight, so this might turn the tide. All right, up to over 100 viewers. Thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight. We're here in South Texas, Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. Make sure you do hit that like button. So now that another $10 goes on there, so I think that's $150 now. Yeah, so looks like $150 is in for Sweeney, and Sweeney's going to fight for that. Sweeney is fighting for it. There's also a $10 button straddle as well. That's why there's chips on the side of the button. All right, so somebody asking what the buy-in is for this 2-5. So this 2-5 game, it is a minimum of 500. So it's a minimum 500. The 1-3 stream that we do on Wednesday is a minimum of 300. That is for the stream. However, take for example, we have 2 or 3 cash game tables that are running right now out on the main floor, and those are 1-3 tables. So the minimum buy-in is just 100 for that. And it looks like a $20 straddle. And like I said, Sweeney is not is going to be fighting for that $150 as he's eligible for it, and it's bringing along a lot of other people.
Cards just come there. That's crazy. They know nothing about the odds. They just come.
New York Bob making the call. Big Fish just calling with jacks. Big Fish just calling with jacks.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
So so right at $100 on this pot, and the ace comes right off. Sweeney flopping 2 pairs, so Sweeney's going to be collecting the bonus. The only question is, will he collect more chips from anybody else? Illuminati with the gut shot might make the call, but I don't think he will. Sweeney betting 50, so bets half pot. And maybe the jacks peel one time. Nope. Big Fish is going to say, you see, I lost the minimum. And he is right. Because if he raises with the jacks, Sweeney was going to be fighting for the bonus. So Sweeney would have called a raise. David with a gut shot, last player to get through. And he knows, no, I think he folded. Yep. So that should do it. Oh, wait. Where did this guy come from? Where did FinSfan come from? Yeah, FinSfan calling the 50. He's open-ended. Okay. I did not see FinSfan in there. I don't think anybody saw it. As a matter of fact, that's why the dealer paused. Because they told him there in his headset and his earphones, they're like, hey, you need to pause just a little bit as the graphics catch up. So that's what that pause was for, folks. Like I said, I'm seeing this at the same time you see it. And that's what the pause was for. So it'll be heads up, and FinSfan hits the bonus right off the bat. Hits the deuce. Oh, and he checks it. He checks it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sweeney with the full house. How much does FinSfan lose in this hand? Because FinSfan is going to lose a chunk of his chips. I can't believe he checked the turn. But either way, Sweeney was calling. It didn't matter how much FinSfan bet on the turn, Sweeney was calling. FinSfan turning the nuts. And now, Sweeney rivering the nuts. Wow. So Sweeney going to bet 200. FinSfan is going to be raising here. So FinSfan, how much is FinSfan going to lose? And he's going to set his own price. He's going to figure out how much he loses in his hand, because whatever he puts out, he's not getting back. FinSfan min-clicking it to 400. They might be deep enough for FinSfan to fold. Because Sweeney bet the river, he gets raised, and he still raises. So once Sweeney puts in this next raise here, it's definitely going to set off some alarm bells for FinSfan. The only question is, will he listen to them? Is Sweeney just going to stuff it here, or is he going to put in a little? So Sweeney makes it 1,000. Sweeney putting in basically 80% of his stack here, and this should set off alarm bells, but I think FinSfan is just going to have to call. It's another 600 to win 1,600. I think FinSfan is going to have to call here. This is such a gross hand, as Sweeney had the ace-5. flop top 2 pair. Finn's fan flopping open-ended. Finn's fan hits the nuts on the turn, and then Sweeney rivers the nuts. So there is no other better full house than this. Ace 5 is the stone cold nuts right now, and Finn's fan has the stone cold nuts with the straight. I will be very impressed if Finn's fan fold here, because this is never a bluff. Or 99% of the time. They always have it here. He bets the river, he gets raised, and he still re-raises you. He's showing he's not scared of anything. So Finn's fan, a couple of hands ago, almost called Sweeney with ace high and would have been right. He did think about it for a while. He would have been right. And we'll see what Finn's fan does here. There was a $20 button straddle from seat 5. David put the $20 button straddle on. There's a 150 bonus for the small blind. Sweeney, who is the small blind, called the $20. And we went 5 ways to a flop. And it was $100 in the pot. Sweeney led for 50. Finn's fan called. Finn's fan hit it straight on the turn. Check, check. And the river comes out. Sweeney bets 200. Finn's fan min-clicks it to 400. And now Sweeney makes it 1,000. Sweeney has about 75% of his stack in the middle here. I think he's just getting too good of a price to call. But he is definitely not happy about the situation. So huge pot here on hand 42. Oh, now we're under 100 viewers. I can't believe we lost viewers. We got a crazy hand here going. Nut straight versus nut full house. Bet on the river. Raise, re-raise. And Finn's fan finally makes the call. Like I said, I didn't think he could get away from it. I did not think he could get away from it, and he did not. So Sweeney, with the $2,000 pot getting shipped his way, plus another 150, 160 on that button for the bonus, and Finn's fan taking a huge hit to his stack. I think that's going to put him down over 2,000 for the stream. Fletcher saying sounds like the commentator needs a haircut. Fletcher is a barber, by the way. Oh, Heavy actually saying he would have just called with the jacks also. All right. Cody Garza, Journey. Yes, that was a Journey hand indeed. Sucio. Neto with the tens, making sure that the dealer knows that it's a race. No, he's just calling, I'm sorry. So, before the stream, there is a little meeting they have with the players just to remind them about some of the rules on the stream. But one of the things that is very important is to make sure the dealer hears you. Both of the dealer's ears are covered. You can see the dealer with the headset on as he is basically speaking with the production crew, making sure that all the bets come out right and everything like that. So if you've never played on a stream before, just a little FYI, make sure the dealer does hear you. You need to basically look the dealer in the eye and kind of nod and make sure the dealer hears you. And that's what Neto did before he put in the 25. He said, hey, this is just a call. And now he's calling the raise. Ace-Jack versus tens. And it's going to be a set of tens for Neto. I think he's just going to check, and he does a double cut shot. No, just the regular gut shot for David, who will continue for 50. Neto, I think he's just going to call. But we'll see if he puts in a check raise. Hoping he's up against ace king. So it looks like a $50 bet, as the 3-bet was 35, so there was 70 in pre-flop. So the set of 10's calling for sure. Is he raising? And it looks like he does raise. It's a small raise. He raises to 110. Has a set of 10s, makes it 110. And it's only $60 more. So basically a min raise here for David to call. And I think he's going to call. He has a gut shot for the Stone Cold Nuts with the queen. And he has backdoor outs as well. So let's see a 9 for fun. A 9 to make him open-ended. Oh, it's an 8. So now he is drawn dead. I like a check here from Neto. And he does just that. He wants his opponent to catch up now. Queen? No, it's a jack, but the jack, no. I don't think the jack's going to get David in too much trouble. How much Neto? Oh, he's going to just go all in. Oh, he only has $200, so yeah. David's going to call. He hit the jack on the river. Was hoping it was good, but Neto only had $200 and the pot was too big. Everybody in the chat loving Sweeney. Sweeney loves to see flops. And he's been the most aggressive player tonight thus far. All right, Queen Jack offsuit for Nuno. Under the gun. Comes in for $20. Neto makes the call. So Neto, a nickname for Ernesto, which is his real name. And Nuno, a nickname for a junior. For a junior down in Mexico. If you are junior, then a nickname is Nuno. So not sure what Nuno's real name is, but if you know it's that, then that's Nuno's name. New York Bob with the ace-jack, 3-bet in it. A little on the small side. Vince Fan with the 6s makes the call. Nuno getting a real good price. It's only 30 more bucks for him, right? Yeah, he's calling for sure. Oh, is he gonna raise? Turning his hand into a bluff, and he's raising big. He puts in over half his stack here. He's letting pretty much people at the table know I'm not folding. So this is a real strong move. He doesn't have a real strong hand, but that doesn't matter. This is a real strong move. And New York Bob with the ace-jack, thinking to himself, why did I only make this 50? Nuno raised it under the gun to 20. Neto called. New York Bob made it 50. Picked up a caller from the button, Illuminati. Picked up a caller from the big blind. And then Nuno puts in the 4-bet. So 270, and he has less than 270 left in his stack. He has about 200 left in his stack. So over 60% of his chips are in play right now. Like I said, he's not folded. And the players know this. Bob, I think Bob might have already called if if there wasn't two other players in the hand, but you have to factor that in. And that's what Bob is doing as he's trying to figure out if his small raise induced this 4-bet from Nuno. Still thinking. A lot of these players have been pretty spot on with their reads, but like I said earlier, I mean, you still have to follow through with the read. And I think Bob's going to follow through with this read as he is stacking up chips. Yeah, Finn's fan had that read earlier when he thought his ace-king was good on the river. He just wasn't able to follow through. We'll see if New York Bob follows through with his read. And he's going all in or just making the call or raising? I think he's raising to put a Nuno all in. And Nuno's going to be in terrible shape. Yeah. He's raising enough to put Nuno all in. Oh, Illuminati's going with the king 10. He sees all the money in the pot, and he wants to gamble. It's got it to that point for him. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you see that at the table where it just gets to a certain point, and the players are all like YOLO. So Illuminati sees the king 10, and he says YOLO. And now Finn's fan, who's down, I think he's down like $2,000 for the stream. He sees all these chips in front of him, and it says, if I hit a 6, I win it all. That's what he's thinking. The problem is he has to avoid an ace, a king, a jack, a 10. So Finn's fan might go with the 6s as well, and this is just because he's down $2,000 for the stream, and he basically sees over $2,000 out in front right now. So he's all like, if I hit the 6, I'll be unstuck. So I believe Illuminati with the big bet here, 705. And Finn's fan is actually out in front right now. He does have the best percentage to win the hand right now at 29%. And New York Bob has 28%. And Finn's fan is just confirming if the re-raise closes the action, and I believe that it does close the action. I don't know the exact counts, but the dealer does.
I can too, because this is 270 and he basically raised you. This was 270 and I made it 470.
So they're trying to figure out if the action is closed for New York Bob. So New York Bob.
I raised 200. Yeah, and he raised you 230. So if he calls, you can raise.
So yeah, that's what they're trying to figure out right now. Nuno started all this, making it 270, and I think they just confirmed that New York Bob, the action will reopen to him. So I think Finn's fan will fold because he knows he's going to have to play for it all. So Finn's fan is just confirming if the action reopens here, and like I said, he's trying to get unstuck in one hand is what he's trying to do. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it. And there's going to be another side pot here, so there's going to be 2 side pots. New York Bob's not going anywhere, and I don't know if he's just calling or if he's putting Finn's fan all in. But this is a monster pot. Ace-Jack versus Queen-Jack versus King-10 versus 6s. The 6s out in front right now, but only 29% favored. Nuno with the Queen-Jack is in the worst position, and he is the shortest stack. All right, so it is going to Finn's fan trying to get unstuck in one hand. He has the sixes. He's out in front, but he has a lot to dodge. I think Finn's fan is fine if a queen comes because there's still a bigger side pot. He just doesn't want an ace, a king, a jack, or a 10 to come. But I think he's fine if a queen comes because he'll still make his money back with the side pot. So over a $2,600 pot coming your way here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. 2-5 no limit hold'em here in South Texas. Make sure you do hit that like button. It's a 2-5 game, and we have over 2,500 in the middle in pre-flop. And the best hand is pocket sixes. The best hand is pocket sixes right now, folks. So Finn's fan hoping and praying for a six, but here's the crazy part. He doesn't need to hit a six as long as the other players don't hit their hands. So the flop comes like 5-5-4, 7-9 or something, then he'll win. But anything 10 or above, which is going to be hard to avoid, but anything 10 or above, he doesn't want to see. Ace, king, queen, jack, 10. He does not want to see.
I remember I was like, oh, everybody else is doing $20. I had like I had a pair, jack 4, jack 5.
I don't know if anybody has folded a six, but I know those percentages take into account anybody has folded anything. So Finn's fan in front.
I took my phone out.
All right, huge pot. Four-way all in. And here comes the first three. And it is a jack. Jack 10, 4. So now Finn's fan needs to hit one of those sixes. And you can see Finn's fan's face. He knows that he's beat because there's way too many cards. I know that board is wrong. It was jack 10. And I think the ace jack is going to scoop everything here. Yeah, and it does. The ace jack does scoop everything. We'll see if they have a shot of the board because what you're seeing there was not the flop. The flop was jack 10-4. The flop was jack 10-4. So what you're seeing there is not proper because it's actually showing that the queen jack won. It hit it straight, but that is not correct. Let's see if they show the board. I don't think they are just because the pot is so huge. Let's see if they do show what. I think New York Bob just won with the jack. I know the flop was jack high. So Finn's fan tried to get unstuck with one hand with those sixes, and it did not work. Illuminati, I think, made the play. He just, it was just time for him to gamble. He thought it was like, if I win this hand, then I will be a winner for a night. If I lose a hand, I'm going home. So I don't think he's rebuying. I think that's another reason why he did that, just because he was going to go home for the night if he lost, and I think that's what happened, as it is a huge pot for New York Bob to scoop. Chat available on YouTube, folks. So a four-way all-in with sixes being the best hand, but the ace-jack winning it at the end. And I think Cody Garza summed it up with just the three letters. ALV. If you know, you know. So we still got about an hour left on this stream, folks. We did start about 15, 20 minutes late, so we still have about an hour left on this stream. As we do see New York Bob still stacking his chips. And I believe the button game is still on. So still stacking the chips. So stacking the chips, getting the players' rebuys taken care of. That's the pause in the action, folks. back to the action. And it's going to be seat 2 there, Neto. 10-8 offsuit. See what he does. He's going to make the call. He's actually going to make the raise to 15. David with the king queen puts in the 3 bets of 50. Neto will make the call. So 65-35 will win this pot a third of the time. And I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think he's going to check, and I think David will put in a C bet here for probably about 40. No, it goes check, check. All right, now David's betting for sure that he hits the queen. Neto checking. David going to put out about 40. David going to put out 50, and that'll do it. And looks like we got somebody new into the stream as Illuminati. It was time for him to go with the king 10. He's all like, if I win this pot, I'm going to be a big winner for the night. If I lose this pot, I'm going to go home early. So we do have a new player, as New York Bob is still stacking that $2,600 pot. And what he's doing is he's putting it in racks to get big chips. He doesn't want all those red chips. So he's going to be coloring up here. That's what he's doing with the racks. I would imagine he would trade them out for probably black chips. I know we have some black chips on the table, which are the $100 denominations. So he's taking all those chips. He'll give it to the chip runner. And each rack of red equals $500. So he's going to trade in 100 chips for 5 chips. He's going to take the, he's got a couple of racks. He's got at least 3 racks of red chips that he's going to be traded in. You can see he already has 2 of them stacked. And it looks like we got Josh taking the seat and Colin picking up ace king of hearts. $20 button straddle from Finn's fan here. Colin definitely going to be putting in the raise here. Makes it 80? Yep, makes it 80. That should get it done, and does. So I'm pretty sure they've already informed Josh, a new player, of the small blind game. Here's the VPIP. Nuno is the highest right now, but Sweeney is at 50%. Followed by Finn's fan. Followed by Don Neto. Now, Josh only at 0%. He's only played 1 hand and he folded, so that's why he's at 0%. Colin, the lowest of all the players that have been here since the start. He's right at 20%, which I think if you're playing on a stream, that is a good number to look at. In regards to, you want to be at least 20%. I think if you're playing on a stream, in general, I think you want to be at least 20%, but especially when you're playing on stream, my opinion. Of course, the VPIP voluntarily place money in pot. That means you are not forced to put in money from a blind. That means you are choosing either to put in $5 or to raise or anything like that. All right, little shaky on that camera. He's still stacking. Is it going to be 4 racks of red? He's definitely trading them in for black chips. All right, 3 ways to a flop. Hovering around that 100 live viewers mark. Know we had some people watching from up north in Canada. All right, the jack making a straight here. And Big Fish. He hasn't won a pot in a while. This is a $200 pot, so this is a decent sized pot, but Nuno also has a jack, so Big Fish will be chopping here. Nuno's gonna put it all in. Big Fish will call. Finn's fan will get out of the way, and this will be a chop pot.
200.
So like I said, I know we had some people watching from Canada earlier, and we're actually on the other border. You have the U.S. Canadian border, which is the north side of the U.S., and then you have the U.S. Mexico border, which is on the south side. So we're on the opposite side. We're on the United States Mexico border. So chop it up. Each player winning $61 when it's all said and done. So let you know about our high hands during the week. Those are the high hands during the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's the poker pyramid. And that's up to $300 right now if you hit a quads. And during the week, it's $200 every hour with rollovers. There's 3 different pay periods, and each pay period is its own bank. So for players that like play in the morning, if their high hand rolls over, it will not roll into the afternoon. It will not roll into the night. It will roll into the morning. And the same thing with the high hand from 6 to 9. If nobody hits it, it rolls over every hour, $200. And if nobody hits it, then it rolls over to the following day. It is aces full of 10s to qualify. Aces full of 10s or better. You must use both hold cards. You must use both hold cards. So it's very common for the payouts to get up to $1,000 each day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with the $200 rollovers. And yes, looks like it's going to be 3 racks that Bob will give the chip runner there. So that's going to be 15 reds, 15 blacks that he'll have coming back. All right, Big Fish with the ace jack. Just calling the 3-bet of Finn's fan. Finn's fan does not want to see clubs here. 4 players to the flop, so over $300 in the pot. Oh, set of 9s. Somebody had a 9s. It's David with the 9s. Nobody has spades, but Finn's fans has a straight draw. And Nuno, who just has jack high, is gonna take a shot at it. And David's probably gonna shoot back with the check raise as he has top set, but it is a draw heavy board. So he's probably gonna make it about 300, I would imagine. 250? No, he just makes the call. And Finn's fan calls with his gut shot. A spade will slow down action. Nobody has it, but it will slow down the action, and that is exactly what happens. So Finn's fan now has a double gut shot. A 5 would make him a straight. An 8 would make him a straight. And Nuno is drawn dead. The jack 10, dead. D-E-D, dead. David just might go all in here. I mean, obviously, somebody could have a straight, somebody could have a flush, but you still have outs for a full house. So David's thinking about going all in. And it looks like he's just going to bet a small amount. So he bets 150. I think Finn's fan is calling. No, Finn's fan makes the fold. And Nuno has to fold. He doesn't know he's drawn dead, but he's drawn dead. Yeah, this bet by David looks really strong because he just put in a huge percentage of his remaining chips left. He has less than 300 left after this bet. I think Nuno's thinking about making this call. I just realized that Fins Fan has a shirt that says Fins Fan on it. Of course, Fins referring to the Dolphins. And I think Nuno made the call here, and as he's making the call, he says this is a bad call. Yeah, he's all in and he's drawn dead. And David boats up. So we'll see if Nuno rebuys. I know the last time he played on the stream, he did real good. And tonight is the opposite. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Check in on the chat.
Roxy, dile a Declan que tenemos una.
Okay. And let me see. All right, Sweeney under the gun. I know he likes to see flops, but I think Sweeney's even folding the ace-4. All right, Josh, new to the table. He is a choir teacher. I sing very good in the shower. Neto making the 3-bet with the ace-10. Looks like it's going to clear everybody out, I believe. And does. Yeah, you can see that Nuno's seat is still empty. I don't know. Yeah, the dealer announced it to the floor. We do have one seat open. If anybody wants to come in, they get to play on the stream for about an hour, but not a good night for Nuno tonight. And I think he said no mas. All right, so under the gun straddle for Josh, which will put the action on Colin. So $10 live straddle announced. Essentially a third blind. 7 deuce into the muck. Fins Fan Jack 9 might come in for a raise here. Jack 9 of clubs, and he's going to make it 35. Neto is not going anywhere with the king queen. Bob away from the table. And Big Fish makes the fold. Oh, ace king of diamonds. Let's see the 3-bet. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe 175. $150. Okay. Oh, Sweeney with the king jack. Sweeney likes to see flops. Sweeney is dominated right now. And Sweeney does make the laydown. It really hurt him. It really hurt him. Fins Fan with the Jack 9. He has live cards. And I think Neto is going to be calling for sure. Like I said, I thought 175 was a better size in, but I know it's easy to say when you see the hold cards. Jack 9 actually not in bad shape here. Has exactly 33% equity, which would be evenly distributed. And the king comes right on the flop. Neto is going to be losing a good amount of his chips here. David with the C-bet. 150. This might get Neto to go all in. Neto's calling for sure, but he might go all in here. He does have the king of hearts. And yes, he does go all in. David will make the call. And we are off to a turn in the river. Heart for fun? No heart. Needs a queen, and it's the 10 of hearts. So David will win the pot. Ace king versus king queen on a king high flop. Almost a $2,000 pot will go to David. So the YouTube chat is available. The YouTube chat is available. And make sure you do subscribe TCH Live if you still have not done so. I forgot about our bounty tournament. Haven't mentioned our bounty tournament. Oh, that's the bad beat. Here's the bounty tournament. There we go. Bounty tournaments on Mondays. Every Monday at 6 o'clock. During the week, the tournaments start at 6 o'clock. On the weekends, they start at 2 o'clock. So this one's during the week. It's the double green chip bounty. $150 entry. $50 of that goes towards the bounty. And we are off to the next hand here. King Deuce of Colin into the muck. Finn's fan. 9-7. Really trying to make something out of nothing. Raises it to 35. And it looks like we had somebody take that seat 1 there. I believe that's Chris in seat 1. Queen 8 offsuit for David. Just won the last hand. Defending his butt, and his Sweeney's not going anywhere. Is this going to bring Josh in? No, Josh has to fold. Nope. Josh got to the stream and has less than an hour to play, so he's going to take advantage of it. He's calling with the Queen 5. And it's going to come King, Jack, 9. Finn's fan actually hit in a pair of 9s, but Sweeney has a better kicker. Gut shot for David. He might come along. I don't see Sweeney folding. David is thinking. Nope. Oh, wow, it's going to get it done. So Finn's fan winning with the worst hand. And it seems like he's been winning all the small pots and losing all the big pots tonight. All right, there's the VPIP. Both Finn's fan and Sweeney leading the way. Finn's fan at just in over 50%. Sweeney just under 50%. Chris, who just sat out, he's at 0%. Well, he saw one hand but folded. Colin at 20%. He's kind of been 20% all night. New York Bob at 31%. Big Fish at 35%, so about a third of the time with the VPIP. And we have a $20 under the gun straddle. So the action will be on our new player, Chris. Chris just ordered a beer there, and he will put that in the muck. It looks like Sweeney with the 8-3 now. He's gonna fold that, I think. No, he suited. Never mind. Sweeney likes to see flops. Josh is going after the bonus for the small blind game. But Finn's fan will call, and I think Sweeney's going to call here because he does have position. And have I mentioned Sweeney likes to see flops? Okay, so did Finn's fan put in a 3-bet here? No. No, Colin making it a pretty big amount here. I'm sorry, Josh making it a pretty big amount because Finn's fan throwing out a black chip there. So Josh is just trying to win this off of pure aggression. And let's see what he does here. He's going after the bonus for the small blind. The small blind game is in effect. And does he continue on with his story here? Ace high flop. He's going to continue on 85, but it's not going to shake Finn's fan. Finn's fan flopping a pair. Turn. A 7. So Josh picking up the straight draw, $400 in the pot. FinSfan also picking up a straight draw. So Josh is going to have to bet a big amount here, and he finally checks. FinSfan might now take the lead. $200 bet. $200 bet. There you go. And I think Josh is going to call. I mean, he raised with nothing, bet the flop with nothing, and now he has an open-ended. So 200 to win 6. And he is calling. So river is going to be a deuce. I think Josh is just going to shut it down here. I think FinSfan will check behind. There's $800 in the pot. I don't think Josh thinks a bluff will work. And I think FinSfan is going to take his showdown value. So there's the check from Josh. And FinSfan, like I said, I think he's going to take his showdown value. He rivered a flush draw. Pretty sure he's taking his showdown value. And yes, he does take the showdown value. And he will win with the 8. And the reason why you saw Josh go a little crazy there with the 10-3 is because of the small blind game. There was a bonus on that button every time every time the button, $10 gets put on it, and the small blind is eligible to win it for that hand. And he went after it, and it did not work out. So FinSfan will be the big blind. The chips you see on top of the button is the bonus that's for the small blind game. Action will be on Chris, seat 1. This is his third hand, I believe. 10-8 offsuit into the muck. New York Bob, ace-jack. He won a $2,600 pot with ace-jack earlier, so I don't think he's folding here. Makes it 30. Sweeney with the king 3. King crab. Oh, Sweeney thought about it. Colin with the deuces might call here, especially with the small blind game going. He is the small blind here, so he does have an extra incentive to call, and it looks like he is. FinSfan in the big blind. We'll close the action with queen 5 offsuit. Okay. He's actually not in terrible shape here. He's not in terrible shape with the queen 5 against these particular hands. And he hits the queen. So New York Bob, I think, is going to c-bet because he does have a gut shot. No, he decides to check. Now here comes the 4. I think FinSfan is going to be betting this turn. Going to probably be betting 50. Colin's going to check, and FinSfan's going to bet 75. And that should do it, as Colin wasn't able to hit his set. So $10 more going on the button, and it looks like Colin will be putting on a $10 button straddle as the dealer will scramble the cards, and we are gambling here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. All right, there are the big winners. New York Bob, the big winner. FinSfan in for almost $3,000. So New York Bob over a $2,000 winner. Sweeney and Big Fish tied with $1,700. Colin winning the big hand with the aces. I think it was a 5-way flop, and the aces held. So Colin up over 1,000. And he does have the straddle on the button. So the action will be on New York Bob. 10-5. Ad should be going in the muck. It's $10 to call. Big Fish with the fold. David, 8-7.
Small blind thing is screwing me up.
Is he going to raise? Is he going to call? I think he's going to play this hand. It's suited. It's connected. And he's coming in for a raise. Going to be 45. Yeah, 45. Of course, that was Michael Jordan's number when he played baseball. Jack 3 of hearts for Sweeney. And Colin. Colin has a hand here. Ace Jack might be putting in the 3-bet here. No, he just calls. And that's going to bring Finn's fan in. All right, so king high flop. And Finn's fan flopping the king. David flopping the 8. David the pre-flop aggressor. 2 of clubs. Does Finn's fan have the jack of clubs? Finn's fan does not have the jack of clubs. 285 into the pot. It goes check, check. David looking for an 8 or a 7, and it's another club. It's probably going to go check, check again. And Finn's fan decides to put out a blocker bet of 75. David can only raise here. He cannot call. And that's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about raising. He's not thinking about calling. And he does make the fold. So one of our players from the stream, Master Walter, who has played in Choctaw before and is actually known as Young Pablo at Choctaw. He said he's actually played with Colin before at Choctaw. So I know Colin living in New Mexico right now, but he's played in Choctaw before, according to Young Pablo. All right, we still got about 3 or 4 more hands to go tonight, as Finn's fan will make the raise, and Chris comes along with the queen 9 of diamonds. New York Bob, I don't think is going to call. Big Fish, who put on the straddle, get in a good price, but has a horrible hand and puts it in the muck. So heads up we go. Finn's fan with the best hand right now. New York Bob had 6-4, but he folded. And Chris is going to outflop him with the queen. It looks like Chris is leading right out, and he does. And Finn's fan will immediately fold. So 2-5 action. Like I said, we have about 3 more hands to go tonight. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley TCH live stream. We still got our $20 tournament coming up. And I actually had somebody come into the booth earlier, so I'd like to give a shout out to Terry Richards. Him and his wife show up every Friday and play the $20 tournament, and every time his wife outlasts him. So he made sure to come tell me in the booth, hey, I outlasted her tonight. So congratulations for beating your wife, Terry. All right, so under the gun, David will make the fold. Sweeney also makes the fold. Colin with the jack-8 of clubs. Looks like he's going to be coming in for a raise. Looks like 25. And it is. Vince fan, he's been playing pretty aggressive tonight. He's probably going to be 3-betting here, up to 100. Oh, is he min-raising it? He min-raises it. Is it 45? Yes, it's the min-min raise. So it's not double the raise. Not double the bet, it's double the raise. So since Colin made it 25, it's actually a $20 raise. And Colin's definitely going to be calling. Jack 8 versus King Queen. And it comes King Jack Deuce. So there's definitely more money that's going to be going into this pot. Colin checks and flow. Vince fan going to be c-bet into probably about 50. It's 75. I think Colin's going to see one more card. Yeah, Colin's seeing one more card here. So Jack or an 8 for Colin? No, it's a 4 of hearts. I think Colin's going to check again. And we'll see if Vince fan continues here. 250 in the pot. Vince fan betted 75 on the turn. If he bets, it's going to be at least 100. It is a very draw-heavy board. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and he has 2 clubs, so he is betting once again, and that's going to be a $105 bet. Don't know if it's going to be enough to shake Colin just yet, just since it's a draw-heavy board. Very easy for somebody to have straight draw or flush draw. It's very easy for Vince fan to have those hands there. So Colin might call again, and does. So 450 in the middle, to a river we go. And it is a 6 of diamonds. So flush draw got there. This is probably going to result in a check in the river. Colin checks, and I think Vince fan is just going to check behind. As, yeah, the diamonds does slow him down, and he does check behind. So he will win the pot. So tomorrow here at the Texas Card House, we do have the Deep Stack Tournament. $200 entry. Keep in mind, it does start at 2. The tournaments on the weekend start at 2. The tournaments during the week start at 6. Tomorrow is Saturday, starts at 2, $200 buy-in. $2,000 for first guarantee. 50K starting stack, 30-minute blind levels. 30-minute blind levels. It is a deep stack, deep structure. All right, actions on Sweeney. I can see him calling here, and he does. All right, Finn's fan with the ace-5, calling the raise. New York Bob, I think he's going to fold here. Big Fish with the fold, puts the action on the big blind. David, 8-3 offsuit, into the muck, and Sweeney will call the raise, and we will go 3 ways to a flop. Sweeney is actually favored to win right now, as there have been some aces folded, and they are sharing the ace. So Sweeney actually favored to win right now. King high flop. Nobody flops anything. And now Josh, 50% of the time, will win this hand if it goes to the river. Somebody's going to bet at this, either on the flop or the turn. And Josh, your pre-flop aggressor, made it 25 pre-flop. Continues on with 35. And I think this is going to get it done. And it does. All right, so this is the last hand coming up for the stream. Last hand coming up for the stream. These players will continue to play. But for the stream, this is the last hand, as it's $10 under the gun straddle from Josh. And had a couple of real crazy hands tonight. We had a 4-way all-in where the best hand pre-flop was pocket sixes. and it did not win. And then we had the ace 5 versus the 6-3, nut straight versus nut full house. And action will be on Finn's fan, who had 6-3, the hand I just told you about. He had the nut straight with the 6-3, and he ran into the ace 5 of Sweeney. So kind of a poetic hand to end on tonight, as Finn's fan has the 6-3 of hearts that got him in big trouble earlier. And we'll see if it's able to bail him out on this last hand of the stream. They're still going to continue to play. The ace 4 offsuit of Sweeney. And Josh is coming in with the 5s. I don't see him folding the 5s. It's the 5 of hearts. So 5 ways to the flop we go. Over $200 in the pot. Just over $200. Last hand of the stream for tonight, folks. As it's all diamonds. And Josh with the only diamond with the 5 of diamonds. Chris with the jack. He might bet this if it's checked to him. Finn's fan does have a pair of 6s. He was a pre-flop aggressor. Small bet here, only bets 50. And Chris will immediately call with the top pair. So Finn's fan going to have to get creative here. And it's going to be heads up. So Finn's fan looking for a 6 or a 3. He might represent diamonds if they come. The ace of hearts will probably slow both these players down. So Finn's fan, action is on him. It checks. Chris immediately checks back. And the river, jack of hearts. So Chris is not going to be folding here. Does Finn's fan bluff? No, Finn's fan will bluff. Will check. So Chris will take down this hand. He'll probably put in a small bet here. It's $300 in the pot. But Chris is going to be betting. He bets 200, and I don't think Finn's fan is going to call, but he is not having a good night, so might not be thinking straight now. $200 bet into $300. He might make a hero call, thinking that Chris missed his flush draw. He is thinking about making a hero call here. He's been wrong in both spots earlier. If he would have called earlier, he would have won. And if he would have folded earlier, he would have lost a lot less chips. So both times he's been put to the test on the river, he has failed. And he finally makes the right decision. So kind of stops the bleeding there. And that was the last hand of the stream from Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us tonight. Remind you, we are here 2-5 next Friday, a TCH live stream. And then on Wednesdays, we play 1-3. That is on the Texas Card House channel. It's a different YouTube channel. It's Texas Card House. So that is a different channel, 1-3. Thank you for joining us tonight.